This is all interesting.
That was my fault. I derailed that.
It was my fault too.
Derailed. I was like, shut the fuck up.
No, just because this Whaley Lee story is so fucking
No,
cool.
this is an amazing story. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downplay it, but I'm like,
that was my fault.
Porn Mansion.
what's up, everybody? My name's Danny Ferrari.
My name's Parker Ament.
My name is Frank Zagarino.
And this is the XLNT Show, and we have a very, all our guests are special, but you will have a special place in our heart. Mm-hmm. Which we'll tell you about. We're about to simp real hard. Worked with Skrillex, Justin Bieber, fucking everybody in the goddamn industry. The best fucking sound designer in the world, Virtual Riot.
Virtual Riot! Hi! Thank you so much for coming. Love you, buddy. Oh, golf clap, sorry.
I didn't mean to gas you up so hard, but I meant all those things.
Amazing introduction, and thanks for having me here. I'm very happy to be here tonight.
Thank you so much for coming, Val.
Yeah, we're hyped. You just got off a plane.
Yes,
I
got off 2 planes.
2 planes.
Two 6+ hour flights from Brussels to New York and from New York to here. Also, for the people out there, it is past midnight right now. I have 3 beverages on the table. 2 of them are caffeinated, and it is necessary.
Yeah.
That's right. Very cool.
Yeah, me and Val have been talking about doing this for probably... He was one of the... When we talked about starting a podcast, he was one of the first people I told about it, because obviously I was like, Val, you have to come on.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it probably for like at least 6 to 7 months, so I'm fucking ecstatic that we... finally got to do it.
Yeah.
We're finally doing it.
It's so epic. It's so epic.
I'm glad we were able to fit this in, because it's like...
the only time would be now.
Because I'm flying out Monday. We just came from, like me and Carmen, we just came from Rampage in Belgium. And then tomorrow we play in this Anime Expo show. And then we're flying out immediately again. And tomorrow all day, like, I kind of want to go to the Anime Expo. So there's, like, really no time except for, like, right now. In the middle of the fucking night. Oh, what about swearing?
Oh, you say bad words.
You could swear all you want.
Curse all you fucking want there, bud.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead, just nail out a swear word right now that you just want to say. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. Cockballs.
Schwanz.
All right, so here on the XLNT Show, we've made it a tradition. Frank already spoiled the surprise, but
No, I didn't.
you kind of did. To tell him that there was a surprise is technically spoiling the surprise, but that's okay.
It was like it was almost ruined, but I don't think it was ruined.
Thank you.
I think it was okay.
Thank you.
It was a surprise.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay. Yes, thank you. We like to give gifts to our guests.
Aw.
We give a gift as a thank you gift. Now, I'm sure that you've heard that obviously XLNT Sound is kind of known as like the bad boys of EDM. It's kind of been going around. I don't know who made it up, but
Oh yeah, he did.
We're pretty dangerous.
No idea
you know?
who made it up.
so we do fucking bad boy shit, and this is for you because you're a bad boy.
Oh yeah.
Tube.
It's a tube.
Oh, thank you.
You got me a tube.
I always wanted one of these. No, let's have a look.
Open
How
it
do
up,
I-
buddy.
how do I-
It's not a glitter bomb. I promise you.
That would be a massive one.
Is that coming?
Yeah, a
There
little
you go.
tough.
A little tough.
She'll open up.
Let's see. What do we got here?
Get in there, bud.
Huh?
Yeah, dude.
I thought it was a poster.
Definitely
I
not
did
supposed
too.
to.
I did too.
I said this is bad boy shit, Val.
Yeah, that's not bad boy enough.
You can bring this to the Anime Expo. Careful.
It's like a little katana.
You goddamn right it is.
Ooh.
Check out the blade on that pup.
Damn. How do I?
Just
Oh wow. Oh, okay. Damn.
Look at that.
fuck yeah, bro.
I'm glad I didn't accidentally cut my hand off.
Yes.
Holy cow.
And most people want a samurai sword signed. Yeah, it's real
Be
sharp.
careful. Be careful.
Signed by Randy Jackson, but this one's signed by XLNT to you. We love you.
Oh, to Val, and it's a little heart.
Yeah, true that.
Thank you.
I definitely spent the most on your gift out of everybody.
This is sweet.
Yes.
I've never gotten anything like this.
So
This is-
cool.
This is amazing.
It's also a surprise to me. I had no idea what it was.
Frank never knows.
I never know.
So he couldn't have ruined the surprise if
There
he
you
wanted
go.
to.
Thank you.
All right.
Dude,
So I'm decorating my studio again soon because I'm moving and I'm setting up a new studio, so I get to decorate it all over again.
There
so
you
this
go.
is definitely gonna
Let's
in,
go.
100%.
Samurai sword, dude.
You gotta have lots of dangerous things all over the studio.
Yeah, I don't know if he showed you.
Hopefully.
We have switchblades. We have like Harry Potter
Yeah,
ones that shoot fire and all this type of shit. Yeah.
The first episode of the podcast, they got switchblades. I was the odd man out, and then the last episode we filmed last week, they were like, "Oh, Frank, we finally got you one," and they got me one like a quarter of the size of everyone else's.
It was like a little baby
These
switchblade.
fuckers, dude. It was so annoying.
But it still
funny.
works great.
Dude,
It works great.
It almost works better. It's almost more realistic.
I think that one's really tight, actually,
yeah, dude.
personally.
It is tight.
So wait, do you have to fly after this? I just realized that do we need to ship that to you?
That's what I was thinking.
Because you probably can't fly with that thing.
Oh, I do have a bag that I check, so that's okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go.
All right, dude. Let's talk about some goddamn.
Yeah, get
production.
into it.
I got fucking bricked up over here.
Tangent after tangent.
Yes. Okay.
That's how we do it.
Val, I gotta ask you, dude. What is it like to? Well, first off, I just want to give you a little background. I know you're familiar with that we do YouTube videos or whatever, but just so you know, we're gonna simp real quick. I really want you to know how much of a influence you were on us to do our own YouTube channel, because watching you back in the day, you know what I mean, when you were doing
Studio time.
I know you're still doing it now.
Yeah, it's
back. Go check out Studio Time, support them on Patreon. But that was like really cool, I think, for DJs and producers to kind of see that they can kind of get themselves out there through another sort of platform, rather than just like going on the route of like sending songs to DJs and hopefully like somebody plays it or submitting to a blog. And you were kind of the first one that kind of did that, at least in our eyes. So that like inspired us to do YouTube, right? And to learn about sound design and to try to teach people about it and be, really learn ourselves to try to do this and make sort of a name for ourselves in that way. And I just wonder, was that a thought in your mind when you started your whole YouTube thing, or were you just doing it for fun and you were just like, I just want to experience this?
It was really just because I wanted to like make videos. Before that, a friend of mine and I, when we were like 12 or 13, YouTube had just become a thing. It was still like 4x3, the 5-star rating, and all of that.
Yeah.
We made music videos to White Stripes songs. We made stop motion videos. We made all kinds of stupid shit.
Right.
And it was just really fun. And then eventually I made my own YouTube channel to upload stuff. And I had one way before the Virtual Riot channel. It was called XLNTSOUND in German, Stollentroll 32. It got hacked by Russians. They replaced all the thumbnails with like porn advertisements.
No.
And I deleted. Some fans were able to recover some old videos, but what I uploaded there was me playing piano and domino videos.
Nice.
Like me setting up dominoes. And then I'd film the like knocking them over, and I'd put Linkin Park under it. Like super edgy.
Yes.
Badass.
And just editing those videos was like just a passion of mine. And then I got into music production, so then that was just like a
Natural
combination,
progression,
a combination of those two things. And now getting back into studio time, I have a lot of fun editing videos and like coming up with like for future videos. I want to like find more cooler like concepts of how to make the videos like more interesting and not just like a tutorial, but like how the first couple were, where it's just like me on a computer, you don't even see the DAW, and it's just like weird shit happening, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Like that combining
dope.
with a little bit of you actually know what's going on. Or,
Yeah, man.
Does it feel the same now when you film the studio times as when it was like when you first started?
There's like a mix where sometimes it's like, okay, I do want to convey some knowledge, and it has to be like a little more organized and focused or something.
Yeah.
Rather than like, for example, I'd watch Andrew Huang, for example, where it's like some of his videos are like a mix of a vlog.
Right.
And then on the go, he'll start recording stuff and then puts it together. And then it's 1 minute he shows how he put all the sounds he recorded together. And then next minute it's like, oh, now we're over here and recording this. And it's just like this mix of lifestyle and production.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And I want to find like my own way of doing that where it's
I think
like,
that'd
a
be
little more
great.
interesting.
Yeah.
Just don't go to space, please.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't go to space. Stay on Earth.
Or in a submarine. Don't go in a submarine.
Yeah, or a submarine.
Yeah.
I really thought he was going to space.
I thought it was
dude,
real
this
for
dude's
like
going
a
to
couple
space.
weeks.
You thought it was real?
Yeah, dude, it was pretty good.
On that topic, though, I made a song with sounds from space on TV, though.
Nice.
So in Germany, they had on national TV, they had this series called Sounds of So-and-So, like a different producer every time. And they were all from Germany. And it would be like an hour of half interview and half production lesson, where they would make like a song then and there. And for the last episode, they invited me over. And at that time, they had a German astronaut on the ISS, Matthias Maurer. And he was filming up there, like videos, like a little walkthrough of the ISS. And he was recording all kinds of sounds up there and then sending them back to us. And then I had to make a song out of that in like a planetarium.
That's
Nice.
sick.
That was really
Wow.
cool. You can find it on YouTube, but it's all in German.
That's fine. I've watched your videos in German
Subtitles,
before.
baby.
I have.
There's probably an AI by now that can, in real time, translate it into English audio.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it
With
like
my voice.
planetary
Yeah,
like
with your
sounds,
voice.
like what
So-
Saturn sounds like and what
so
Jupiter sounds like?
I came prepared. I had a whole PDF from the internet with the like rotational frequencies of the celestial bodies
Oh my
in notes.
God.
Like what note the rotation of the Earth would be like, or the orbit of the Earth, and so we made the song in the key of the rotation of the Earth.
That's so sick.
Like fucking opens a wormhole because you're hitting the right fucking frequency.
Yeah, because didn't NASA like release like a bunch of sound clips from each planet, like what they sound like or what they are?
Yeah, there's something you can do there. I guess if you have to like upscale it. You have to like pitch it up a lot if it's like a really low frequency. So you can kind of do that. It's actually interesting. Adam Neely did a video on that as well, where like he correlates rhythm to sound to color. Because if you take like the frequency of an A at 440 hertz and you go up an octave and up an octave, you're doubling the frequency every time, and eventually you reach the frequency of visible light. And so,
Wow.
so every key on the piano has a distinct color associated with it.
Yeah.
So
wow.
synesthesia is not a fake thing; it's a real thing,
Well,
right?
we don't know.
But
People see different colors.
Yeah, people
Yes.
they relate certain sounds to certain frequencies to different colors personally. So that's why
exactly. Synesthesia is personal, like
Yeah.
different personally, but like mathematically, you can allocate a color to every key on the keyboard. And the cool thing is, a chord, like an interval that sounds good, like a fifth, like an A and an E, in colors, they will be complementary colors. They'll be
Oh
blue
my
and orange.
God,
Oh, that's
no way.
interesting.
Yeah. And also, and if you pitch it down, you get a 2 versus 3 rhythm, like so a rhythm that makes sense and is easy to understand, like a polyrhythm that's easy to understand, is interval that sounds good, is colors that match.
Wow.
I wonder too if like everybody says like people we all feel vibes in a room. We walk in a room and
Yeah.
we feel vibes. Like that's like probably frequency, and people probably resonate at frequency. Like I think I'm around 528 hertz, clearly, right?
Yeah.
But what if you could
Clearly.
measure? What if you could measure people's frequency and then you find out what note they actually?
Well,
are?
I don't think anyone is at one single frequency.
You don't think so?
I think no, there's no way, because you wake up one day feeling some way, and there's no way
Yeah.
when you wake up the next day feeling 10 times shittier than you did the day before that you're at the same frequency. There's
And there
no
are
way.
your brain waves, which
Yeah.
also like measurable
Variate.
frequencies
Yeah.
and variate when you sleep or when you're awake. I've been thinking about this kind of stuff, obviously, because we all have, because we're all nerds. I've been thinking of if there's like a way to turn, for example, an object into sound. Like if you take this table and you take like the length versus the width, and the ratio between that is a polyrhythm.
You're
Yeah.
nuts, dude.
For
Let's
example.
go.
And if you then take the height, you have a chord.
Yes.
So if I were to design furniture, it would be harmonic furniture,
Oh
like
my
a C
God.
major table.
Yo, IKEA better watch out.
This is all,
dude.
this is all
IKEA
going
better
in, this
watch
is all
out.
going into the thought process of the new studio design.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Like the length
yeah.
that my couch is
Yeah.
away from my table is a C sharp.
Yeah, it's an A flat major. It's actually what my table is. I
that's
love
too
that, bro.
funny.
I've been learning a lot about like one thing I wanted to bring up to you too that I always thought was really cool that you've always been really good at and inspiring us to do was figuring out how sounds are made. Like spending a lot of
Yes.
time and like replicating certain sounds that inspire you, and then learning from that and reverse engineering it, and then being able to apply it to your own production.
Yeah.
So lately, I've been really focusing on looking at specific harmonics when it comes to like if I want to remake like a maybe one of your sounds, right? Maybe like a more simpler one. I can actually look at it and slow it down on like a Fab Filter Pro EQ3. And actually be able to start seeing the actual shape of the LFO,
Yeah.
and then trying to
The
draw
filter, yeah.
and
Yeah.
then trying to draw, and because you know when a filter is switched the pitch and stuff like that. So I was kind of curious, like for you, when you started coming out and doing your YouTube videos, there was a big need for people to understand how to make these insane sounds that we were all hearing from like Skrillex and
Yeah.
Zomboy and stuff like that, and like when I found your channel, I was like, how the fuck did this guy how did he figure that out? It was almost like so like was it that you knew exactly what was going on when you first heard those types of sounds? Or you
Hell no.
just played long enough until
Yes.
okay.
Like with Massive, for example, before Serum, there were real tutorials.
Yeah,
It
right.
was
Yeah,
like-
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
That was
It's
pre.
like-
That was pre.
And
yeah.
I was just turning every knob and imagining what that might mean, what I'm doing right there. And I had a Nord Rack 2, which is like a virtual analog synth, like rather basic. And in the manual, it had like a basic explanation of envelopes, LFOs, analog oscillators, signal flow. So that was sort of like the only theory I could read, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." But then you get massive with wavetables, and it's like already like levels higher.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, just turn every knob, remember what it does, and start to build in your mind this sort of map of, okay, I remember this does that, and this does this. Now I'm hearing this sound, which has this sort of characteristic, and I know if I put this knob here, it would get a little bit something like that. So that's just what I did for years. And many times I wouldn't get to the result I wanted, but I would find something else in the process, and then you just store that.
That's it.
And eventually, like, you figure out, okay, this is actually now I know what wavetables are and what is actually sort of happening here. And sometimes it can be a blessing and a curse, because if you want to like make something new, then you might get stuck in your patterns of how to make a sound. And oh yeah, I would never FM this. That sounds horrible. But maybe if you did and then did something else, it would be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you have to break out of that as well sometimes. To find something new, but yeah, now it's a lot easier. Like if I hear something, it'll be like, oh yeah, this is a phaser or a flanger, and at this, or it's a tonal, 2 delays separated by, or this
Right.
sort of FM at that pitch. Like same with the frequency spectrum. Like
Yeah.
if it's like an FM sound, you can just by looking at it know what the operators were tuned at or something.
Yeah,
That's crazy that it comes from like the Nord Rack. You
Yeah.
started on the Nord Rack.
Yeah,
That's
that's so
like
wild.
such a it's like a piano essentially.
Yeah,
right?
I had
and then
the,
it
I
has
had the
some, like,
rack
synth.
one, but the lead is the one with the keys. I just had the rack because it was cheaper. But
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
No, it's wild.
The process that you explained about learning sound design through that way is like exactly the same way that I felt like we started learning it too, which is
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I know that like I can get a growl sound by using a high pass filter. Okay, so I got to
Yeah.
if I want to make a growl, I need a high pass filter with a notch, and like
Yeah.
here's the sweet spot. But I always thought that you in your original videos, I thought you already knew that shit. I had no idea.
I knew that is the filter I need to use, but only years later I would like look up Wikipedia articles about form and frequencies, and then realize, oh yeah, if I now like apply that and take this high pass and put it at this frequency and the low pass and put it at that frequency, yeah, that sounds like an A or an E, and then okay, cool, yeah, that's why it sounds
That's crazy
the way
because
it
You
does.
there
went in
was
deep,
no
bro.
tutorials.
Yeah.
You have to go deeper than that, and like you have to go super into the internet to like find that information.
And the also stuff that was happening with just integrating like pitch, like having octaves pitch down on a growl like that to get that
yeah.
sort of also that which is like a vocal, because our vocals are like up and down in pitch all the time.
The most difficult thing was that a lot of people would only use the wavetables and find one that's already sounded like a growl. And then if you use the pitch bend, your formant moves up and down as well, and it sounds like a chipmunk if you pitch it up or too low.
Right.
And the actual growl has a static formant, just like the human voice.
Right.
Like if I do an E and you look at my frequency spectrum, the 2 peaks that make it an E don't move if I go E or E. They're always in the same spot while the pitch changes. So, and in Massive, I think the filters key track, or even with a pitch bender or something. So even that doesn't really work. And then eventually, like if you used Ableton and put a phaser after it that doesn't move and doesn't give a shit what MIDI comes in, that's where you get like the more Skrillexy sounding growl. And then eventually people started figuring that out. It's in the whole history
Bro,
of
that's
like
a huge,
Yeah.
that's a huge snag right there.
I didn't even think about that. That makes total
No,
sense.
the next step is like the weird bit crushy noise
Yeah.
in the Skrillex growl. Where did that come from? There's also different ways of getting that, but it's aliasing artifacts in LFOs that get amplified by 3 OTTs.
Dude, it's sick.
It's cool now to hear your sound design is just like for your, not to fucking simp on Skrillex now too, but like
We
your
can
sounds.
simp.
I know we're going to.
I'll simp with you.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But just your sounds now in general is like a whole nother level of quality. And
I wanted to touch on this. Yeah.
okay, it's cool because I've watched your progress as like a sound designer, but now it feels like you're in a place now where you can essentially make anything that you want and make it sound new and fresh. And I think that's like really, really what I mean, as like a nerd sound designer, like that's what I get excited about is when I hear something that I haven't heard before.
Same.
How long did it take you to get to that point to where you feel like confident in making your own sounds and developing them? Because the stuff you're making now, like I can maybe try to guess how you would make it, but it's not something that I've heard before. So there's like a different, because you knew how to do the other stuff. It's like now you're experimenting and like breaking serum and doing all these crazy shit.
Serum.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, what was your process and just kind of sort of coming up with your sound nowadays?
It's
that makes
like,
sense.
Yeah.
That's a
Let
loaded
me
question.
No. It's like there's a lot to unpack there for sure. But I guess at this point, because of so much remaking stuff and making so many preset packs, I made like probably 10, 12 massive preset packs, 5 serum preset packs. Now it's really like, as you said, breaking serum or doing things that I usually don't, or where I think, oh, this might sound weird or wrong. But then like knowing, okay, I can. If it sounds like weird, I can fix it mixing wise. Like I can make it sound not too aggressive, but also it's not just about finding like a cool new sound, but making it work arrangement wise in the song. Like that's sort of what I hear in a lot of the stuff from like Dylan Brady or something.
Yeah,
or the
he's
hyperpop
amazing.
stuff, like the 100 gag stuff, where it's like, I heard Dan called it like reverse music or something.
Yeah.
And like the approach is you make the most annoying weird patch that no one would ever come up with, but you make it work in the context of the
yeah.
song, and then it's like, whoa, that's sick.
Yeah.
And just
Okay.
but if you were to show someone that patch by itself,
It's trash.
they'd be like, yeah, the fuck is that? So it's like it's both. It's both finding cool new ways to get crazy sounds that sound really impressive, but also making them work in the context of a song. And this is also something I still struggle with, especially if you got put into this niche of rhythm, like making a song rather than a DJ tool. That's like the other thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, but,
That's huge. That is huge.
That's
A
very
lot of
true.
people get stuck into the DJ tool thing just so they get played out, at shows.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
difficult. It's a difficult thing to a difficult habit to break. But something I wanted to ask. I know that you're a very, very humble dude, and whether you want to admit this or not, it is the case. When it comes to amongst our peers in the bass music scene, producers that make bass music, when it comes to like the quality control and the goal of the quality control and the goal of how good and how clean and how big and how smooth our sound design can be, you hold that standard. Like,
Yeah,
when
do you
people-
realize that?
Yeah. So
shut up, you know.
Yeah. So everyone's like, okay, yeah, like Val's the best at this, right? I'm just curious if you just do your thing and you don't really think about that, like those thoughts don't penetrate your brain when you're working on stuff, or does that pressure, like knowing that you are setting the standard, does that ever get to you or psych you out when you're working on music, or do you just do your thing and it never comes through your head?
it doesn't really like bother me or stress me out. There are definitely songs also on the new album where it's like not as clean as it used to be, but as like I would be like okay with it, and as like an artistic decision in terms of like, oh yeah, this is clipping and I didn't used to do that, but it does sound good right now.
Cool.
And in terms of like cleanliness and precision sound design, for example, I think Mr. Bill is like a lot
he's a
more
beast.
Yeah, exactly, a lot more clinical than me. But then me and Bill, we have this back and forth where I'm like, oh, I wish my stuff was as clean and well mixed as yours, and he's like, shut up, I wish my stuff was as loud and heavy as you. So it's just like the grass is always greener, sort of that kind of vibe. But yeah, I usually just there are some like things where I'm just like I just try to mix for my ears.
Yeah.
With how clean or how EQ'd I want it, and then just trying to balance that with how loud can I get it.
Yeah.
So you don't feel that pressure to be like innovative with sound design as
Just
like
do your
being
thing.
like
Yeah, so actually for the next body of music that I'm working on, there are, as I just pointed out about, there are a couple more songs rather than DJ tools, and those don't really have that crazy sound design. Like, I mean, you've heard Quest for Fire.
Yeah.
There is little crazy sound design.
Oh, it's all the same sound.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and
I
it's
love
More
it.
awesome.
song structure.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
love it.
Yeah.
Can I say that too with your newer stuff? Because Frank has showed us. Sorry, dude. Showed you some of
He
your
doesn't
ideas.
care.
And shit, I know. But what I was really happy when I was, I forgot which one it was. It was.
You got this.
I got it. Hold on.
You got this.
Fuck
We
it,
don't
I'll
even
think
know
of it.
what it's. You don't
No,
even know what
no,
it's
I
called.
know the name of it.
Also, do
It's-
you have the drooper? I thought I saw you adjusting.
I do have the drooper. Yes,
You're drooped.
I
drooping.
got the cursed
Congratulations,
droop right
bro.
here.
You got the droop.
We got to
It's
mark
the
that.
first time,
Yeah.
actually, out of all the episodes.
I was really feeling like just like recently, it feels like your sounds and your songwriting of like the very like because you're very melodic, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? and also having like your heavier basses and your crazy drops. Like I've really felt like recently you've been melding those two together so well.
For real.
I wish I could fucking remember the names of the songs that you sent me. One of them was fuck me. Not Alone.
We're Not Alone?
Yes.
The VIP?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I played
Yeah.
it for him.
Yes.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
The whole thing or just the first drop? Because it's done now.
Did
I send you the whole thing?
It was probably just the preview.
It's probably just the first half.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
finished
How
the whole
recently has it been done?
thing. A month?
I don't
Maybe
have
a
the
little
full
longer.
version.
Yeah,
here.
okay. I'll get I'll send
Anyway,
you too.
that's
Yeah.
like the melody. The melody in that too is
Beautiful.
like, God damn it! Like we fucking need that
Yeah.
in fucking bass music for right now. You know what I mean? It's like you're right with the DJ tools. And granted, I know it is sort of a song that you would play out live. But it's like for a long time, it feels like people are just like, all right, let's get to the drop. And we're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
fast forwarding it just to get to the drop.
No one's mixing
Yep.
the song into the break of a, you know.
I just really
Yeah.
want to compliment you on that. I'm really enjoying
Thank you.
your stuff, like where you're going with it.
With all the old like melodic dubstep back in the day that I used to make, I was always fast forwarding while I was producing until I reached the point right after the first drop because making the breakdown in the middle was my favorite bit.
Right.
Oh, that's
That was,
interesting.
like the Astronaut Quantum, that remix has this like future garagey,
Yeah.
burial-y, like a lot of the midsections are burial inspired, and that's where I was always like, oh cool, like this is where I can like I don't know, I just like being creative with like the understating kind of sounds
Yeah.
and with
Yep.
melodies. The midsection of Chroma as well. It's just like a whole nother song suddenly.
You're
Yeah.
making it. You're songwriting, and I
yeah.
feel like that's
it's more of a
so-
journey. It brings you on more of a. It's more of a story.
I want to hear
Yeah.
that though too, because I feel like even like back in the day with like us like being exposed to like bro step and like Skrillex and stuff, there was a lot of melody going on,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it was
There
fucking
still
sick.
Is. There still is.
So wait,
Where?
Val.
On the Skrillex stuff. there's
Oh,
some
on
melody.
Skrillex,
yeah,
yeah,
There's
it is.
some-
If you guys are like us, you love Serum presets, you love sound design, we got a brand new pack that just came out. I want to go ahead and take a sneak little peek in here and see what's going on. Let's jump in and see what we got. Woo! Gets me ideas going right away. Woo! That's so cool. So there's just a little sneak peek of some of the presets. Quest for Bass is available now. You guys can click the link in the description. You can get your copy. That's 250 Serum presets, 5 project files, the ultimate vocal one-shot maker, and a ton more. Make sure you guys go get your copy right now and then jump back into the video.
Dude, so you touched on Burial.
Yes.
So who are your inspirations when you are like making music? Because Burial is like he had this moment, and
Yeah.
not the mainstream doesn't really know about Burial too
Yeah.
much. You know what I'm saying? There's only like the OGs or the producers, really.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So Burial, obviously, but who else like inspires you when you're creating?
So it's from an electronic side as well as from like a screamo emo metal side.
Sick.
My guy.
I grew up on Spock Spirit and Dream Theater, and then my brother got me into Alexis on Fire, Artreyu, Under Oath,
So
Funeral
sick.
for a Friend, like all of that. And then I got into Enter Shikari, which
Dude.
were
I mean,
like-
that's your favorite band, right?
yeah.
They just came out with a new album like a couple
Yes.
months ago, right?
I saw them last year here in LA, and then around Christmas they were in Germany, and I like hung out with Rao. He's really cool. I would love to like do something with them because I saw they played in England and they did "Sorry You're Not a Winner"
No.
with Pendulum.
Oh,
like it was a
my
Pendulum show, and
God.
Rao came out to sing "Sorry You're Not a Winner," and it was
Oh my
a Pendulum
God.
That's
remix. That was so
crazy.
cool. So yeah, no, I know they like to do like more electronic crossovers, so maybe we can do something there. So that's definitely like an inspiration in terms of the melodies and chords and the emotion.
yeah.
Then there's like old stuff like all the Prodigy stuff and Chemical Brothers, BT as
Yeah.
well. That was
Oh,
my
BT.
first. I was playing Need for Speed Underground, the
Yep.
first
Hell
one.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I know
about.
exactly what you're
Amazing
talking
soundtrack.
Yeah.
And there was one song by BT on there called Kimosabi, and I asked my brother like, "Hey, what is this?" And he's like way older than me. He knew what album that was from. He gave me the whole album. It's still one of the best electronic music albums of all time, in my opinion.
Wow.
BT Emotional Technology.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
That's crazy.
Okay, but you just mentioned all of these inspirations,
Yeah.
and you've gotten to work with a couple of these inspirations.
Yeah.
You did a song with Aaron Gillespie of
Oh,
Under
yeah.
Oath. How the fuck was that
It's not
experience?
out. It's not out yet.
I didn't even know that.
Am I not supposed to?
Yeah, I didn't
is that
either.
cool? Sorry. because I've heard it. It's awesome. And I've told you, and we've talked because we connected early on in our friendship on Under Oath.
Yeah.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
one day I didn't even know that Val was a fan, and we were in the car. We were in a car like after one of his shows.
Yeah.
We gave him a ride home or something, and I turned on. I think it was Writing on the Walls, and
Yeah.
you were like, He looked at me. He's like, you did not just play this, and I was like, oh my god, this is
Dude, that's so
fantastic news.
sick.
Val loves
Yeah.
Under Oath, and then like shortly after that. He was like, "Oh yeah, Aaron Gillespie's coming to this." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
way.
I couldn't believe it. And you said you were a little nervous at first, right?
Yeah, I had I had Dave Doublets come over as well as like emotional backup. Otherwise,
Nice.
I would have felt too awkward.
But
And,
what was it like working with him? Like, how was that experience?
That was really cool. He recorded the vocals like by himself. He just came over to hang out and listen to it and like work on it for a little bit. He was super chill. Yeah, like I.
Awesome.
All I can say is awesome guy.
Yeah.
and a voice of an angel.
Yeah,
my
he has
God.
one of my favorite voices ever, and I have a little funny Aaron Gillespie story. I was waiting in the line in the artist area at EDC. They had like a chili dog food stand, and I was waiting in line to get a chili dog, and I'm waiting in line, and there's just a dude standing in front of me, and he turns around like looking for someone, and it was Aaron Gillespie, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I couldn't.
That's hilarious.
I couldn't believe it. The last person you expect to see EDC, and in retrospect, like, it makes sense. At that point, he had collabs with Keizo and Rez.
Yeah,
and
it's
he was-
cool. They're
he was-
jumping into.
But
Yeah.
but like, you're not expecting that at EDC.
I had a similar moment where I would even less expect it. I flew to Denver to play like Mission Ballroom or something, and on the plane behind me, I hear someone saying the lyrics of a song I know, and I turn around and it's the entire band.
No,
No way.
And I'm
Yo.
like, oh my god! I just followed them to the baggage claim to get a pic with Spencer.
So I was like, okay, Frank, like, because I in my head I was fanboying, simping the fuck out, right? And you're like, okay, center yourself. I was just like, Aaron, and he was like, yeah, what's up, man? I was like, yo, dude, I hate being a fanboy, but I just wanted to let you know that your music and your vocals have shaped my musical taste, and I just appreciate you so much. And he like looked at me and like grabbed, like I went to go shake his hand. He grabbed my hand with both of his hands, like looked me dead in the eyes, and he was just like, "That means so much. Thank you so much, man."
Damn.
It was, and I was just
That's
like,
awesome.
wow.
That's
and
so
then
sick.
he got his chili dog. He left. I didn't get my chili dog. Sprinted back to my friends. And was like, I just fucking met Aaron Gillespie. They didn't believe me.
Should have taken a
But
pic.
then we saw him later. And I was like, there he is. I told you.
That's my boy.
Yeah, but it was,
That's so sick.
that was so, because he's one of my favorite vocalists
Yeah.
of all time.
So that's definitely a huge inspiration as well, like all that emo screamo stuff. And then on the electronic side, there's like obviously Burial. I listened to a lot of Fortet actually
Oh,
before
yeah.
he went on this
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah.
Bonobo. Who else we got? Mr. Bill actually I listened to a lot. Culprit. He's got
Oh, cool.
stuff. And like I don't know where most of this new Tear Out influence came from. Like usually, I remember when Tear Out was awful.
Yeah.
Tear Out used to be real bad.
There was a period for sure.
It was
Yeah.
really awful.
And then like now with all these chuggy stabs, I felt like, nah, is it always just gonna be like that and kind of the samey? But just it's been fun doing sound, like diving into that sound design, just like diving into the color based sound design.
Yeah.
And I really like where all the color based stuff went, because like I made all the melodic dubstep back in the day, and then during Corona I didn't do a lot of music. I just, like a lot of people, just got depressed and was like, what the hell am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah.
And then suddenly color bass comes up and I'm like, yes, that's what I always meant. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then and then all these cool plugins came out, and okay, I mean Pitch Map's been out for a while. So that's been
But wait,
been like another cool
how
ride.
did you find Pitch Map? 'Cause-
Zed.
Yeah.
Zed,
Really?
Zed showed it to me in the
No
studio,
way.
and he said, he's like, because we were talking about Synaptics plugins, and he showed me like Adaptive Verb, because he always uses it on vocals, and then he was like, oh yeah, and this is Pitch Map. I use it to tune Blink 182 songs into minor scales to make him sad.
Oh my
What?
god.
That's what he was using it for?
That's so funny.
And then I was cool and didn't touch it for like 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know the story.
It wasn't meant to be used really the way that
Yeah.
you use it. And by the way, they owe you a giant fucking bag, bro. I never
Yes,
thought
dude.
about that.
Straight up.
I was like, fuck, man, it's a $300 plugin. I'm buying it. God
Yeah.
damn it. This
Yeah.
thing's sick.
Oh, dude, speaking of new plugins, have you seen the video on Synplant 2?
No.
Oh yes,
I've heard of it.
I have.
I've heard something.
man.
AI. They're
Yes.
enforcing AI with Synplant. So
Oh, that's
like,
the way it's going,
you know,
bro.
when you go into like the DNA of
Yeah.
the synth, So you do that, but then there's like an AI button where it's you load up a sound and
So
then it
grows from that source?
How I understand it is you put in a sample
Yeah.
and it is a synth. It's not a sampler. It is a
okay.
synth with oscillators, parameters, filters, LFOs, and everything, and
Okay.
it recreates that sample as a patch.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
And it does like 4 variations at once, and you can pick which one you like the most, and then you can dive into the patch and change it. Like, for example, someone, like in the demo, they put in like an analog synth sound that has like an LFO and everything in it.
Yeah.
And then the patch has that LFO, but now you can change the LFO shape, but the patch sounds
Christ.
exactly like that Moog that they put in, or the
It's
modular
insane.
system.
That's so cool.
And then they put a vocal in it, and it sounds like a messed up vocal synth all of a sudden.
Damn,
And
that sounds
I'm
fun.
really stoked.
It's not
It's not
out
out
yet,
yet,
right?
right?
It's not out yet.
Thank God, guys, we're out of a job, Parker. Are you fucking kidding me? It's gonna
No, I
recreate
know.
sounds.
Well, we were looking up at like actual like AI programs that like they create sounds or they create like a sample pack essentially when you just type in some stuff and then
Yeah.
it gives you a bunch.
I have a couple
of
friends
different
that
sounds.
have a beta, and
Yeah.
and
Is that the
bro,
one I'm in?
we can't say any names,
Okay.
but I don't. No, it's a different one.
Okay.
But I was at the house of the people we were talking to the other day, and I was with them when they got on the call. and introduced it. Did they tell you about this?
Yes.
Dude, I've used a couple of these AI generated
No, it's
sounds in a
insane.
couple songs, and
It's
when I say they're
crazy.
high quality, I mean like,
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, now people are going to be able to type. I was like, you know how long it took me to make a VR growl? You know how long? And now they just type it in and then they get it.
Yeah, but dude,
Fucking motherfuckers.
I think that the whole music scene and production is going to turn into more of like a curation of sounds
Yeah.
instead of
It's
like
gonna push the envelope, I think,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
design. Like, just
Which is
because
cool.
anybody, it's just like Jimmy Page. Like Jimmy Page plays a Les Paul. If you had the same exact setup as Jimmy Page from Led
You're
Zeppelin,
not going to sound like him.
and you could play, you're not gonna sound like Jimmy
Yeah, yeah,
Page.
yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Page is gonna figure out how to fucking fuck that thing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Into a
yeah.
whole-
except for Drake.
except for Drake. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a little scary, but it also is really exciting. I think,
Yeah.
but like because you.
I'm mostly excited. I'm not too worried. I also think that even if you like trained an AI model on everything in terms of music that has been made so far, you can still yourself come up with something new
Yeah.
that the AI model might not know. Or,
I agree.
Yeah, like it's still creativity is still like a thing, and I'm not too worried.
They're referencing
I'm not
all
too
from
worried.
all the references for AI is also human made.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
thought about that. I had this discussion today. Is like, well, they're only going to be referencing what's already been made. There is no creative aspect of coming up with something
Yeah.
essentially from. It's a blend of everything, whether it be
Yeah.
a VR and a Skrillex growl together. It's like
Yeah.
that's what they're using as a reference. You know what
So
I mean?
speaking of Skrillex, can we just
Yes.
cut to the chase here?
Let's get right to it.
I want to. Okay, I don't know if you've ever told me this story.
Yeah.
But I want to know.
Sorry, I'm like, yeah. You need to tell Frank the story.
Because you know.
'Cause I'm fucking excited.
I just want to know the story of like the first time Sonny ever hit you up to work on something. Maybe it was your first time meeting up with him to work on something. Were you flabbergasted that he hit you up? Like, what? I want to hear that story.
So the first time I met him, we didn't work on anything, but I remember he hit me up and gave me an address to come to, and I just like left. And then Rossi and Dan took an Uber to chase me to give me deodorant.
Because you left that.
Yeah.
Can't go around Sunny smelling like shit, bro. Good friends.
And then I rang the doorbell, and he like rolls up on a hoverboard, and I'm like, no way. And he just sits me down on this couch, and he like went upstairs in the studio, had like an interview, and I just had like acclimated for a little bit, which was nice. And I don't know when we started working on something. He had me come over to this massive mansion that they rented out for singer-songwriter
I heard
stuff.
this story. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a mansion where they also film porn.
Yeah.
And like the beds had like massive pillows. All the like cupboards were full of towels. There was this black chair with spikes on it. Like everything was decorated.
Was this Stephen Slate's mansion?
I'm not sure.
But then,
It sounds like
but
it,
then
right?
Someone came over later
Let him
that
tell.
night, right?
Yeah. Go.
Continue.
Sorry.
That one, that's not the Sway Lee one.
Oh, okay.
That Sway Lee was in Rick Rubin's Shangri-La, in the Rick Rubin's front yard. That was cool. I came over there for like a night. I just like stayed there for a night. We slept maybe 2 hours. And at 4 a.m. or something, Sway Lee came with a couple of friends. And up until then, it was like Tony Royster Jr. on the drums, Heavy
Oh, he's a
Mellow on
beast.
guitar, another guy on guitar, Sonny, me. We had like a guy doing Logic or so, like doing the recording, and we were just jamming, and we had like this idea. He comes in, he does vocals. He just sits on the couch with like an SM57, like no pop filter, no vocal booth,
Hell
nothing.
yeah.
Kills it, and then this moment happens where like we're recording and there's the chorus, and then I'm like, hey guys, wait, what if we like change this last chord for the chorus like this, and I just start playing it, and then Sway just starts singing and improvising on it, and suddenly it's like an hour and a half of me just playing piano chords, Sway Lee just making up vocals, and Sonny just takes out his phone and is like filming like, this is so dope.
Wow.
And then that's when we came up with mixed signals.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Come on. So
That's
fucking
huge.
cool.
So it was an actual live moment
Yeah.
instead of being in the studio like drawing MIDI or something.
Yeah, and then we did not work on whatever we made earlier in the day for the rest of the night. Like it was just that. And
That's
but
that's
it's-
music.
It's nice
bro.
to see
Sick.
like how this writing session can like turn into suddenly it's like this turn, and oh, now we're making this, and oh, and there's actually the idea. or
It
something.
sounds like the style in
So
which
rad.
this night progressed is like Sonny's kind of MO. Like
Yeah.
that's just the way he wants it. That's the way he does it, right?
Yes.
Like, is that kind of how it goes every time you're working with him? It's like whatever, move on to the next thing, move on to the next
Yeah.
thing. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, like the song can change genres multiple times
Yeah.
during the session or something, and yeah, it's always wild. Sometimes I'll come in and he'll be working on something, and I'll play like a little piano thing, and all right, let's record that right now and like put it on top or something. Or I send him something I've been working on, and then he uses like the first little piano loop, and suddenly it becomes another song. And there's
So cool.
there's a new one that's gonna come out as well soon.
Can you jump back into the story where you were talking about that first?
Yeah,
because
so-
yes.
this is all interesting.
That was
but
my
I'm
fault. I derailed that.
I
I
literally
apologize.
my
got
fault
so
too.
derailed.
Yeah, my
I was
fault
like,
too. We all
shut
got
the fuck
excited.
up.
No, just because this Sway Lee story is so fucking
No, this
cool.
is an amazing
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to downplay, but
No,
I'm
no,
like,
that was my fault.
Porn mansion.
we're in a porn mansion.
First, you met Sonny.
Yeah.
Takes
The
his shirt
PM.
off.
Towels.
Yeah.
Weird stuff.
No, I'm just hanging out there. He isn't even there when I get there. I get to sleep in this really comfortable bed. I think I was there for like maybe 1 or 2 nights. But I wasn't on my MacBook then, so I just get this room. I'm starting to work on my laptop, and then he comes through and he's like starts working on my laptop on whatever I just started, and it's not a MacBook, so I can just see how it's like frustrating for him to
Hot cues
use
and
this
stuff.
this
It
Windows
was a PC?
this Windows trackpad instead of the MacBook trackpad, and then that's when I realized I need to get a fucking MacBook.
Yes. Damn.
Otherwise,
Thank
there's
God.
no way I'm gonna work with him or something.
Smart man.
That's worth
yeah.
it right there.
I don't think like anything happened back then in terms of working together on something. It was just like we saw each other every once in a while, and yeah.
So
like,
cool.
It was a slow build.
Yeah. Also because like obviously I had to get acclimated to working with him, and every time he asked me to do something on something, I always felt like, why are you asking me? You could do it so much better.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do it as good as, but just because like obviously like I'm starstruck and I'm a fanboy, so
Yeah.
I had to get over that. And
Was that hard? I would imagine I would just imagine just sitting down in a session with somebody that's been a huge influence on you,
Yeah.
and that first time sitting down in the chair and being like, time to start fucking working. Like, did that feeling happen that first time where you're like, fuck, I hope I don't.
Yeah, like he would. One of the first things was he would invite me to some sessions that he had. Like there was one with Usher. Like he
right.
was working on a song with Usher. There was Usher, him, another songwriter, and me. And
Usher was there?
yeah, and it was my first time,
Usher.
and like I wasn't used to pop writing sessions at all. So I'm making a growl
Hell yeah.
while they're writing an Usher song, and then Sonny's like, let me take you over here in this side studio for a bit.
Oh my
I'm like,
God. I couldn't even
I'm in
imagine.
timeout.
I couldn't even imagine the lockup feeling, the freeze feeling in front of Skrillex, right? Because I do that in front of everyone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's
Yeah, but dude,
like crazy.
pop
Yeah.
sessions are way different than
They
any
are.
other session. It's
Yeah.
it's very personal. You have songwriters that are like on the couch in the corner on their phones, like
Yeah,
they're not
writing
talking to
lyrics and-
anybody
yeah.
else.
Everybody
And
has a
then-
job.
Yeah, everybody has a job,
yeah.
and like as the producer, it's very strict on like what you can and can't do. Like it's like the sound design stuff, like it could work, but also
it's a lot of psychology.
Yeah. It's psychology. Yeah, you're working the room, you're talking to
Orchestrating.
people.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting coffee, and coffee affects the song. You know, it's like all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You're laughing.
and
You're laughing, but it's true.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
It's funny
We had
'cause
that
it's
in
true.
university even. We had we had lectures on if you're producing someone, how to vocal coach them. Like you
Yeah.
have to record the same take for the 10th time and you need to get the good performance. What do you say? How do you encourage them? When do you take breaks? Like
a skill.
exactly. How do you
So
not
they
make it
taught.
repetitive?
Did they teach you that? Like at
yeah,
school?
that
That's
would be
crazy.
exactly. That would be like a one lecture that we had. So that was pretty cool. And there was one funny example where a singer was like a really stuck up prick. So they put reverse autotune on their voice and were like, "Hey, come in. You want to hear like what we just recorded? Like you want to hear your vocal take?" And then just to like get his ego down a
Hell
notch.
yeah.
Oh my
I love
god,
that, dude.
That's a savage.
love
move.
that.
That's a very rare occasion that happens.
I like
but
it, though.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
strat.
psychology.
That's on the level of like the producer button that we
Yeah, I
always.
was just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
tell them about your producer.
The producer button,
What?
dude.
So
Listen to
Val,
this.
Yeah.
so we have a dangerous audio monitor station over here, and there is one button that the sole job of it is to light up. And
It doesn't do anything.
yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It just lights up when you press it.
Okay.
And the way that you use it is you say, "Hey, do you like this version?" And you click it.
Yeah.
Or do you like this version? And you click it again. And you don't change anything else. And if they say, "Oh, I liked the first one better," you know they're full of shit. or you know that they have demoitis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they can't tell what you're doing.
That's
so it kind of
evil.
Right.
Yeah, it is a little evil.
It's evil.
I got Danny a couple times.
I got so fucking mad.
I got him a couple times on it, but it's okay, you know.
I got him.
Do that to clients, not to me.
I know. I'm sorry.
That
But
sounds even worse. You don't do it to me. Do it to our clients.
Well,
Yeah, but-
sometimes you work with people that are like
I
literally
need the snare
think
point
they
2
think-
dBs lower.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
they
you're a
don't know.
psycho.
yeah, it helps the room. It helps you like get over this crazy decision that everybody's arguing about. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this or this, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you don't know what you're talking about, so we're gonna keep going.
Auto
You know
tune
what I'm
off
saying?
is a producer button. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, but the auto tune is a
That's
savage.
a nice. Oh yeah, he's fine.
All right, just checking with it. No, just checking if the camera needs
Oh
a
yeah,
reset.
look at this guy, dude. Are we good on the
I
camera?
love this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
The
You're
first
man. Thank you,
the
Val.
first guest
just
that
looking
is-
out for you, you know.
Yes.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. Dude.
I just on the topic of working with Sunny, one last point or one last story that was really nice was the working on the Justin Bieber song because it was just piano.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting because it was just us two in the studio. We had the vocals sent to us, and there was a lot less of this expectation, sort of, in terms of like, oh, I gotta make some crazy dubstep sound for like the collab of the century.
Right.
Yeah.
But more like, hey, let's write just chords for this. And we would like walk up and down the room, listen to it over and over again, and then like change one note in a chord, and then like listen to it again, and like, does it feel right now? And then I didn't even think of like, oh yeah, this has to repeat here, and this chord progression in the chorus 4 chords, and then repeat that, and change the last chord for a variation. There's like very strange variations in the chorus chord progression and stuff,
Interesting.
just by feeling like, oh yeah, this feels good, and yeah, it just all done in one day, and then we got some feedback back from the team on the other side of the album's production. They were like, yeah, there's like some sacred geometry in the way the chords fit together. Is what they said.
Dude.
You're
And
like, yeah, we meant to do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And that song went. What is that? Those plaques were like they went platinum or
Yeah,
That's
that was my first platinum.
Let's
Crazy.
go, bro.
That's so
Congrats
sick.
on
podcast
that.
is
That's
so
so
cool.
sick.
This podcast is so cool.
That's so awesome, bro.
Did you guys hear that the Beatles song that has like 14 different chords in the one progression?
No.
No.
Have you guys ever heard that?
No.
No.
It's
Which one is
insane. I don't know, but it's. I listened to
know.
it. No, I listened to it online, and I'm watching the chords happen, and
Yeah.
it just keeps going and going, and never
Really?
repeats the same chord. But like somehow
It works.
gets
Yeah.
to the end.
I've
and
heard
it's-
a story about this. I haven't heard it, but I do know this
yeah,
is a real
and
thing.
It's wild.
The cool thing is though, if you do something like that, but the song is also just a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love it when it's like this sort of combo where. And sometimes especially with sound design heavy EDM, it's sometimes if it gets so nerdy, it's like you have to explain first why the sound is cool or why the song's cool and this technique that you
Yeah.
did. But with like good songwriting, it's like it's already good, and then on top of that, it's like, oh yeah, also we did this really cool way or something.
Right.
So
That's,
like
that's a
when
really
you
good
want it.
point that you're making, dude. If you have to explain why it's cool,
Yeah.
it's
You
not
shouldn't
cool.
you shouldn't have to
It's
front
not
porch
cool.
it. Front
Yeah.
porch
Yeah.
it, right?
Is that the
That's
term?
the term.
Front
Or
porch?
like when you're about to play a demo and you're like, okay, like it isn't mixed here. It's like you stop
Yeah.
front porch and it, just play it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that all the time.
Yeah.
Front porch.
Someone said that to me once, and I was just like, "Oh, that's my new favorite way to describe this."
I do like what you're talking about with like the nuances and every like the chord changes. It could just be one note, like adding a little bit of dissonance to sort of before another chord or
Yeah.
something, and that creates a little bit more emotion than it would normally be.
And even though I like had all this music theory training with like a major 7/9 and a sus this and whatever, I like know that stuff. But when I write chords, it's just like intuition and feeling. Like this next chord makes me feel a little more hopeful, but then this is a surprise, and then this is a little more sad and wistful or something. Like
Right.
that's what I'll be thinking rather than, oh yeah, I need to do a 4, 5, 6 and then a B2 with a 9 or something.
I got you. So what was the biggest like takeaway that you feel like you've learned from just working with Sonny and all these other people? Is there anything that you feel like you were kind of surprised to learn? Or
Definitely that, like, if it sounds good, it really doesn't matter how you did it. Like,
I like that.
I would be opening a project file to work on, and there'd be a track just duplicated
yeah,
with everything on it. Just to make it louder.
Yeah.
Maybe someone forgot about it, but it was just left and it sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
crazy when that works.
That's awesome
Yeah.
when you see somebody that you look up to do something like that.
Yeah. Also, like sometimes reduction of things. Like I would add something to the song, and there'd be like these 8 tracks that I added, and then the next time I see the project file, they're all still there, but they've all been like castrated by EQs and made a lot quieter. And I'd be like, no, the stuff I added isn't like can't even hear it anymore. but then I'd be like, it actually sounds like it fits in really well now, and it actually sounds good now. So like just
Interesting.
There, even when I'm working with newer producers, stuff like that, you have to also realize that even if it's not as good as it can be, you've been listening to the thing that you're working on the way that it is for so long that no matter how beneficial that new change is, that new EQ that you're talking about, it's gonna be an uneasy, weird feeling at first, no matter what, because you've been listening to it a certain way for so long. You're so acclimated to it, you can't change it and immediately love it. That does happen sometimes, but sometimes every change, whether it's beneficial or not, feels weird just because you're so acclimated to the previous version.
On this topic, Sky got me this book by Rick Rubin, The Creative Way. You should totally read that. There's
Creative Way?
The Creative. I think that's what it's called. It's Rick Rubin's book. It came out last year, end of last year. or
nice.
something.
I've heard something about this. Yeah.
It's really good.
That just came out.
Yeah, the Rick Rubin book.
Great one, right?
Yeah, he's a genius.
It's
man.
dope. It's exactly about this thing and how to get around these sort of problems and how to develop ideas and he doesn't just focus it on music, just on art in general. Like every time he makes an example, he makes it for music production, for painting, for making sculptures or something. It's like applies to everything, not just making music. And that's
Just art in
He's a
general.
genius,
Yeah.
man. He really is. He's a special cat, dude.
You've heard the System of a Down
Yeah.
Chop Suey story, right?
Yeah.
All right,
No.
I don't know.
I
Oh,
heard
you
it
haven't heard
wasn't.
this?
I heard it wasn't
So-
true.
this
no,
is a
it's
good
true.
story.
What do you mean? No,
It
it's
is a true
it's
story.
No, I heard it
So you know
wasn't.
that in Chop Suey, there's that bridge section where it's "Fall into my hands, I commend my
Yeah.
spirit." Right? That's Chop Suey, right?
Yeah.
Serge went over to Rick Rubin's house and was like, "Dude, I just can't find. I can't write any lyrics for this. I can't figure out what to write here." They were sitting in his library in Rick Rubin's house.
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right, grab any book off the wall." And he grabbed a book off the wall. He goes, "Open it to any page." He opens it to a random page. He goes, point at that page. And then he points at the page. And then he goes, "Read what you're pointing at." And he read what he pointed at.
Yeah.
And those are the exact lyrics.
So he took a Bible.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably.
But
Yeah, that is. It says
How
that.
cool is that?
That is true because it says that in the book, like as an example of like as a tip for you to do
does.
if you're stuck. And so I completely believe that.
so cool.
Yeah. I don't think it meant for it to actually sing what you read, but it was supposed to just read
Yeah.
something and inspire you
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something. But it ended up just working.
It ended up working
perfectly.
perfectly.
I 100%
story.
believe that.
So cool.
It has nothing to do with the song either.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
That adds to the realism, and why that should be.
Yeah.
that's
I
probably
don't know.
true.
I thought that was awesome.
No, I
That's really
I
cool.
think it is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm just saying, like, it has nothing to do with wake up, grab a brush, put on a little makeup. I'm just saying, and it's art. It's great. I'm not hating on it at all.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So I also have another thought too, just regarding like sound design that I kind of wanted to ask you is like, I think for like a long time, like learning how to be a better sound designer and like really trying to work on developing your sounds and learning how to make other sounds. You know, I feel like in my mind, I always like kind of put Sonny like on this pedestal of just being the guy that makes the new sounds. He's the best sound designer, right? And then as I progressed with my sound design and started following you and stuff like that, I kind of came up with this theory, and you got to tell me if I'm right. I don't think he knows what he's doing when he sound designs. Does he just like literally just play around with knobs and just knows when it sounds good? Like, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how to make specific things.
Yeah.
Is that how it is, first off? And was that a surprise to you, if I'm correct?
Yes. And yes.
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes
Like,
and yes.
It's like kind of a similar thing with me where music theory, for example, he also knows. Like, he'll know what minor and major chord is and what the scales are or something, but when he writes a melody, it's not thinking about that. And I think the first time I showed him Serum, he immediately made a patch where I was like, what is that?
Wow.
But it was like something that I would have never made after studying Serum for a year.
Right.
Sort of.
Wow.
And so it's just this intuition sort of like maybe like just like following this flow of wherever this sound design journey takes me. He just works so fast as well. Like
Really?
it feels like so intuition based, sort of like just knowing what it needs next or what feels good rather than thinking of what makes sense.
Right.
in, like, a
Understanding all the
logical way.
nuances of like the way that we nerd out on like specific things.
Yeah.
I always thought that because I thought he was like, oh man, he's got to know. I mean, he obviously has knowledge. He knows how to
Yeah.
fucking FM and use FM8. Like, anybody who knows how to use that fucking synth
Yeah,
is a genius.
seriously. Yeah.
But as I proceeded, I was like, I think he's just really creative.
Yes.
And just able
Yeah.
to
Just has a special ear.
Yeah.
He just has a very like he however he gets to a sound or
Yeah.
an arrangement or a chord progression, like he's not focused on how he gets there. He's just focused on that feeling he's looking for once he does get that feeling.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whether it's a wub, a growl, or a chord progression, once it's there, he goes, "Oh, I like the way that feels. That's it."
But
I feel
yeah.
like it's as simple as that.
But he probably couldn't remake a sound that he heard that he wanted. I would imagine to a certain extent.
I mean, he kind of did a little bit.
did he?
Purple Lambo.
Oh yeah, what's the story with that? Let's talk about the purple Lamborghini yoink. Fuck yeah, let's get into it, bro.
Jesus, so stoked
Listen.
on the yoink.
You were the
No,
first.
this is a serious question.
This is a serious question.
Very serious.
You were the first person to make that fucking sound
Yeah.
like the like the actual sound, and it was. I could not like believe how you did it, and then you had it in your packs, but you never showed anybody how to do it. So what is the story on your? He said something. I'll let you tell it though, because what is your
I
story
don't
and your
remember what I
relation
said.
with the purple Lamborghini yoink, sir? And did you invent the purple Lamborghini
No.
yoink? Okay.
No.
All right. Okay.
I did not. I have a sound I made in the Humble remix.
Oh.
There's a
Oh.
boom in the Humble remix at one point that I made.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I haven't made any bass sounds, I think, in any of the Skrillex tunes so far.
Right.
Yeah, the yoink it's kind of a simple Serum patch if you can get it right. But I also think that at that time, the FM related basses involved a frequency shifter to like
Interesting.
get the tone, like that wouldn't affect the sub, to like get the tone kind of different and like a little lower or something. We can maybe try and remake
Yes.
it later.
Yeah, let's do that.
I can,
Yes. That
I
would be
know,
sick.
I
That
understand
would be
how
sick.
a yoink is made. I
Yeah.
fully understand the ramp up with the 2
They have a
points.
YouTube.
together.
They have a YouTube video
Yes, I
on the
did it.
yoink. It's
Oh,
great.
But-
okay, I haven't seen that.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
great.
I understand it, but I don't understand it the way that you understand.
Okay,
it.
I don't know
So
if you
that's-
could
it's
tell
been a
that-
while, so
I don't know if you
I
can tell
wanted
how
you to show some of
excited
your sounds
Danny
here.
is about this.
I'm so fucking horny right now. It's not even funny, bro. I said I was gonna simp. I don't give a fuck, dude.
No, I have some cool presets I can show later that I made recently because I've been nerding out more. I got into Faceplant.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that too, bro.
We gotta talk about
So
that.
wait,
I've been hesitant to touch Faceplant for the longest time.
It's
and
hard. It's not a. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you to show us it because the routing in Faceplant is just not as
not intuitive.
I know.
I know. It's hard, but the thing is I've noticed specifically respaces in Faceplant. That's the best respace designer. The
But
best.
Frank,
It's amazing.
there's a whole world within Faceplant and their like effects. They
Yeah,
have
I
like
know.
racks
Yeah.
Yes.
of that, and it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's a
It's amazing.
whole
You have
like
Snap Heap and,
economy.
Snap Heap, yeah.
Yeah,
Multipass,
Snap
like
Heap.
all the NASCO stuff.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah, the NASCAR stuff's crazy. Did you? So you were before you moved, you were trying to make in Snap Heap, I believe it was a frequency following
Frequency
shifter that locks
Yes.
to the locks to the keys.
Oh,
Key
yes.
tracking
Yeah,
frequency shifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, key
Nice.
try. Thank you.
I
Appreciate
only-
it.
I'm fucking
I only
smart at
saw
sound
this on
design
Twitter.
too.
I made it.
You got it?
Yes, but it doesn't sound as good. And AU5 hit me up and he figured out a way as well to do it in Snap Heap and with like weird face distortion and face flipping and whatever. And it does the thing and it sounds accurate. It just doesn't sound as full as if you just use a frequency shifter and move it by hand.
Huh. I wonder why that is, right? Because why would it being in a certain position or locking to? Why would it sound less full?
No,
'Cause
it's
still
using the way you do it with the key tracking uses not really a frequency shifter. You have to build a frequency shifter from scratch with other effects,
Oh,
like
I
the
see.
concept of it for it to key track.
so it's
And-
not the algorithm isn't the same.
You have to like you have to use ring mod, and then you have to duplicate your synth and make like a duplicate one that just plays a sine wave. Mute that one, but that one goes into the sidechain input of a ring mod, so that gives it the frequency of whatever note you play. And then there's some weird shit that the ring mod does that turns it into a frequency shifter.
Yeah,
I don't know. Watch this 40-minute video by AU5 if you want. the
Yeah, he's
explanation.
nuts, dude.
Yeah, he is insane.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
I have a question. At what point in the Virtual Riot project was it like a song or a release or a collaboration or whatever where you just went up like it went from here and just exploded and you started touring and like was there a point at any point where you like one release came out and like everyone started playing it and then everything changed?
Definitely warm-ups.
Warm-ups.
'Cause that was the first one that Sonny
I
played.
remember that song.
Before that, Idols and Energy Drink, but I wasn't touring yet, but they did really well on YouTube.
Yeah.
And like got the most plays. And then I think like during an Australia tour, I made Dragons.
Purple
which-
Dragons.
The original.
The original, yeah.
And I think that was before the German Engineering EP.
Okay.
And then that over Borg as well with Funcase.
Yep.
That collab helped with the whole collab EP was definitely that was also like kind of a move of like, hey, okay, now I'm in America and like we make it like a big collab EP and just start touring just to like get it going a little bit. That definitely helped. And then the German Engineering EP definitely was
That was it.
Yeah.
That was a big
was
step.
the most touring after that.
Wow.
Definitely.
So it was classic. It was classic. You got a good song, and it gets played out, and then boom.
Well, it sounds like it wasn't
Yeah,
just like
it was
a spike.
like a good one
gradual
every
rise.
once in a while, and
Yeah.
then like this big like EP that kind of put me in the more rhythmy corner, and then I was like,
Yeah.
and then now with the latest album, it's kind of like back to, as you said, with like melodic and heavy, and
Very
now I'm
cool.
happy.
That's awesome. I have a crazy question as well. It's very weird. I don't know if it's ever been asked before, but I have to know. So all of us have
Front portion. Go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah, we
all of
built
us
it up.
we all have a certain folder labeled VRID.
Good question. Yes.
Oh, I know
Danny,
what it is. I know
you're
what it is.
interrupting.
I'm
You're
sorry. I'm
interrupting.
excited.
It's labeled VRID.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody has this folder, and it's obviously your folder. How did everybody get this folder? Did you get hacked? Was it the Russians? What happened?
Probably the Russians. I don't even know that folder.
I don't even know what you're talking
someone made it, and what's in there?
So I'll show it to you when
Yeah.
we get in.
Yeah.
But there's AU5 snares, there's AU5 kicks, There's your favorite kicks.
Oh,
There's your favorite
It's
snares.
the important drums folder.
Yes, but there's more. Than
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
There's the
Important drums
extracted.
is
There's SP drums.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, side
There's-
project.
There's SP drums,
project.
there's
Serum
important
drums.
there's 85, and it's this entire folder that somehow I got years ago, but everybody I talk to also has this folder.
I don't even have this folder.
So
Okay, thank you for telling me. Now I can put it on Patreon. I'm not
Yeah,
worried about
you
it.
should
Yes.
definitely
So-
do that.
Yeah.
So like, did you get hacked? Like,
I have
what?
no
He
idea.
sounds like you didn't know.
This
I have
is
no
crazy.
idea.
only ever given that to people specifically that I was still am friends with. So
Yeah.
somebody.
Because I don't even remember. I don't
Somebody-
even remember where
somebody
I
deleted
got it
shit.
from.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I got it from, but literally, it's a common thing. VRID. I don't know why.
We got to show him.
It's flattering though.
Yes, I'll show. I'll
So
show
you had no
It's
idea
insane.
until just
No.
right now. Oh, that's awesome.
It's so
That's some
crazy.
great
That makes it
questions.
even
That's
better.
cool.
I also-
that makes it even better.
Yes.
I
I
got
have a-
you.
like,
I got you.
What I sometimes see is when people open their Serum and they have the Omnisphere wavetables.
Yes.
Then I'm like, oh yeah,
Ooh.
because I made those
Oh, I
from
didn't
by
know that.
hand. Like it took me like 9 hours. One night I made them all by hand, and then I had someone upload them to Audio Z instead of me because I didn't want to do it in case I get into trouble. But every time I see them somewhere, I'm like, they made it somewhere.
Interesting.
I have
That's
an interest-
crazy.
I have an interesting question. It's a little bit selfish on my part, but I'll own it. All right. Are we ever getting this remix album?
Yes,
It's happening.
Yes,
it's still
happening.
100% happening.
It is still 100% happening. We're missing, I think, one song now, and then
That's it?
and then the song's almost done as well.
Is it the VIP?
Yes.
Is it- oh, dude, it's gotten good.
Oh,
That
yeah.
new second drop is hits.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yes.
shit goes hard.
Yes.
That shit goes hard.
Nice.
It's
That's
VIP of his collab with Vincent
And
and
Leah
Leah Culver. Electric.
Yeah.
we love Vince, bro. Vince
Yeah,
is
Vince
such
is
a
the
sweet
man,
person,
dude.
Yeah,
He
I don't
is
know
the
who's
man.
that, but
That VIP, I've been playing it in every set.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think Vince still has my old speakers, which I wanted to tell the story about because we went into that studio where someone was working.
Yeah.
And there are Genelex 8420s in there.
Yeah.
And those are the first speakers I bought when I came
Wait,
to
the
LA.
tiny ones?
No, not the tiny ones.
Oh, the
tiny
bigger ones,
The
8040s.
gray ones, the 8040s or some 80 or 8240s or
Yeah.
something says on the back. So when I came to LA, I couldn't bring my speakers from home, which were Adam A7Xs, because they were too big and I only had a suitcase.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I want to buy them over here. So I go to Guitar Center and they have them used, but oh, he knows the story.
You don't know what's coming.
you don't know what's coming.
You don't know what's coming.
Yeah, just keep it going.
They have them used and they just received them, so they have to hold them for a little bit. And they're like, hey, you can have these Genelex over here for the same price. And
Yeah.
if after a month you don't like them, you can exchange them against the Adams, then we can give them out. And that's all good. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I need speakers right now.
Yeah.
At work. So it's these Genelex that look like those.
Yeah.
Bring them home, plug them in. One of them sounds way different. So, disclaimer, like, just so you know, they're like same price as the Adams, like $699, $599, $699 each.
Yep.
One of them sounds way different, but they look the same. I look on the back. One of them looks way different on the back. So one of them is in like an 8040. The other is an 8240.
Oh,
so look
the
it up.
newer
And the
version.
so look at exactly and look it up. And the 8240 is like $1,200 or something, and it does sound way better. So I'm like, how am I gonna get the other good speaker without them noticing? So I look on the back, and for some reason, the cheap one, the volume knob is like inside a little bit, like you have to use a pick or a key
Oh
or something
yeah,
to
that's
turn
how the
it.
old Genelex were.
Yeah.
And the expensive one has a sticking out. So I take the cheap one, I go back the same day, I'm like, hey, remember me? I was just here with the Genelex. Yeah, sure. Dude, so this one has the volume knob broken off. Can you get me one where it's still on? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll look in the storage. Goes, brings one of the 8240s, scans it, comes up with the wrong price. It's like, here you go. I'm like, I'm out. And I had no money then, so I was like not
Yeah.
feeling
And that's
remorseful
what,
at
that's
all.
what
Wow,
made
are
you a Genelec guy, right?
Yes.
Yo, can we
That
please-
guy-
Because I
that
loved
deserves-
those speakers.
That
Whoever
guy-
that
yeah.
guy deserves a fucking thank you. I think, right?
Yeah.
He deserves an award.
Yeah.
You know
He
what's
deserves-
Let's call
crazy?
him Jason from Guitar Center.
No,
I think.
no.
Let's call him. I got a name for him. Are you ready for this? His name is Danny, and that person was me.
It
I
was.
swear to God, bro.
No
Danny-
way.
Danny-
Yes, I
sold
was
you-
the one who gave you those Genelex.
What?
Yes, and I knew that they were on clearance. Yes.
What?
Yes. I swear to God, I gave you those Genelex. Yeah.
No, you're making this shit
swear
up.
to God.
Who told us the story before before you came in. It's true.
Yeah.
You're making this shit
No,
up.
swear to God.
No.
What the
At
fuck?
Guitar Center Hollywood. You
Yep.
came in with
Yes.
Willie.
Yes.
And I said, "Hey, Virtual Riot, you're the man." And you're like, "I need Genelex." And I was like, "Here's some clearance ones." We were just talking about this because Parker got the SM9s
Yeah.
right there.
I got the clearance
because
ones.
Guitar Center fucked up on some of their
Yeah.
clearance things, so
Yeah.
he bought those for like, can I say it?
Yes. Tell 'em.
$600.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So Guitar Center fucked up, and when I saw you, I was like, I'm a fan of Virtual Riot, and I found the clearance. They were
Yeah.
clearance because you
Yeah.
brought in the used ones, and I said, take these. They don't. The prices are wrong. And then you took those. I don't think I knew that one of them was wrong.
Yeah, because they look absolutely similar.
Right, exactly. But they were both clearance for like an insanely cheap price. I was
Yeah.
like, just take these, bro. And then you came back and swapped it out. Never fucking said anything.
Oh my god.
Yes.
What a
the
full
fuck?
circle,
I've been
baby.
telling the story for 8 years to all my friends, and I.
Dude, Val, before you came, he was like, I can't wait to tell him about how I hooked him up and sold him these speakers.
I beat you to it.
Yeah, because I know he doesn't remember it was me, and
Holy
and then you just
shit.
started telling the
Oh, so
story, and
good.
I was
That's
like,
why you were. Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
oh my god, could we please drop this bomb? It was killing me.
You're right. I
it
was just letting
killing
it
me.
go.
So
Holy
good.
shit.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah, bro.
That's
I have
the,
to.
Yeah,
I have to just get a Red Bull.
I know that's kind of. You want to take a break,
And
perhaps?
then on top of that, he goes, let's just call him Alex from Guitar. It's like, no. Let's call him
Danny.
Jason.
Just give him a name. I was like, wait. I had like a moment in my. No.
And then you said it, and he at first just now thought that you were fucking with him for a
Yeah.
second.
yeah. No, that's
Oh.
Now
my-
he's leaving. We just blew his fucking mind.
Dude, that was a fucking moment. Holy
Great.
shit.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of The Excellent Show. This episode is brought to you by XLNTSOUND.com. If you're an EDM producer and you need some serious sounds, make sure you guys go to XLNTSOUND.com. They have everything you need from Serum presets, project files, remakes, and even free downloads for you guys. And check out all these different testimonials that all these heavy-hitting EDM producers are saying about XLNTSOUND.com.
And on top of that, use code The Excellent Show at checkout to save 10% off your next purchase.
Thanks, Excellent Sound.
Let's get back to the episode.
And I always wondered if you still kept those speakers because I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
like,
Vincent has them now.
he
Yeah.
does? Mm-hmm. Yeah, those. I just
That's
remember
so
being
sick.
one of those
So good.
situations because yeah,
Amazing speakers.
Yeah, they are.
Guitar Center would fuck up like that all the time, where we would get gear sometimes that they would just, like I said, like those were demo speakers from Focal. And they would send it to us, and Focal would own them. And then what would happen is it would go so long, and so Guitar Center's like, well, nobody really wants these speakers back. We'll just sell them. But
Yeah.
we knew what was going on, especially you, once you
Yeah.
figured it out. So we would have little secret things that we'd be able to sort of get at insane prices.
Yeah, and we would hook people up
That were-
with,
yeah.
you know,
Nice.
That were
if anyone
deserving.
needs hooking up, it's like up and coming producers. So
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, totally. Like that's what you need
Too
to
bad
do.
you guys don't
Fuck
work there
Guitar
anymore.
Center, dude. Fuck Guitar Center, dude. I'm out that stuff.
straight up.
Damn,
But no, dude, it's there's something
Oh.
magical about that because you know they were meant for you, you know.
Yeah.
And you saw that, and when we both worked at Guitar Center, and that we would try to set those up as much as we could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's
because you got the power to do good.
we have the
so-
power
Yeah.
and we see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that is, you know, I'm very
That's
like
so sweet.
into the universe and
I like to give back like that sometimes, where I got into a conversation on Instagram with some kid who wanted some advice on gear, and he was like, "Hey, I've got this much money to spend on like a mic and speakers and so on," and it was like enough for a good mic and an interface, but not for good speakers. And then he showed me a SoundCloud, and it was really cool stuff, and we were just talking for a couple of days. I ended up buying him a pair of Adams.
Wow,
That's
that's
so
amazing.
sick.
And just
man.
because it was like, yeah.
It felt like you were supposed to do
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
it just felt right.
Yeah.
and then my business manager's like,
That's awesome, bro.
what is this transaction?
but it's
I'll tell you from firsthand experience, Val's one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life.
Just wait for the DMs asking for Adam speakers, bro.
yeah, no, it's never
DMs
gonna
are
end
come
now.
in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to help out like people in the community. I mean, I think it like
Yeah.
for us, like it feels really good we do the YouTube because we like it and we like making sounds and all that stuff. But like, it genuinely does feel really good to be like, hey, I think I figured out how to make this sound.
Yeah.
Let me share it with people. It's like you're showing people how to do like magic tricks or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling.
And then hearing like really cool stuff where you can sort of tell like, oh, they might have learned this from something I made, but this is like so much cooler now, and they've made it their own thing. Like this one younger producer, Nevjex or something. Nevjex. I play one of his tunes in my set. Like, it's a really hard to pronounce name. I hear one of my reverse risers from my sample packs in all of his songs, but the rest is really sick. Like the rest of the sound is all him, and it's like it's undeniably like some influence there from him listening to my stuff or them listening to my stuff. But killer.
Yeah.
Dude,
Shout out Nevjex.
Yeah, for
Nevjex.
real.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
I'll be hanging out with Val sometimes and be like, yo, you ever heard of this kid? And he'll show me the SoundCloud. 100 followers, 86 followers,
Fuck yeah.
300 followers. Never heard of him. No one's ever told me about him. Craziest fucking sound design you'll ever hear, like all the time.
Yeah.
He just,
Denny, DENI,
yeah,
Vex, VXX.
Yeah, you show me all these guys, and I'm just like, how do you find these fuckers?
Yeah. we need to-
Just like basically like YouTube rabbit hole, but SoundCloud edition. Kind
Yeah,
of. Like you just
yeah.
you just go and
Yeah, like likes of
Yeah.
likes. Yeah.
like people who like there's like SoundCloud now has this little bit like related songs sometimes, and then you
Yeah.
just like you go for things with very little plays and just
Yeah.
to, like find some interesting
Dude,
stuff.
you find
sometimes.
some crazy shit.
I used
Put me
to
onto
do
some crazy
that
shit.
with Last FM. Do you guys remember Last
Yes.
FM?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that and go into the holes of related artists and liked artists. Like that was the shit.
Yes.
You know?
Clip.it is not a thing anymore, I think. But when it was, like I uploaded like some IDs or demos there and then posted them on Twitter, you could hit shuffle in the corner. It would give you a random clip from anyone. And it would sometimes be like an hour-long radio recording or like the monologue for a documentary. Or some Vocaloid song that was sick as hell, or the a cappella of a Vocaloid song even, and just like random, or a snare. Like,
That's
it would just be something
insane.
absolutely random, and out of like 10 or 20 times hitting that, you'd find something really cool.
That's
And
crazy.
I miss that, just this absolute randomness. And speaking of randomness, I've been trying to find that in plugins recently, where you have a way of randomizing a preset.
Yeah.
And finding something good. Mr. Bill showed a cool.
I listened
Yeah.
to your guys' podcast with him the other day as prep for this podcast,
Yeah.
and he was like, since it don't have a randomized button, in my opinion, kind of suck.
Wait. I want to hear what you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
say
go ahead,
about it.
go
The
ahead.
random
like,
button.
So a Massive, for example, has a really good randomization mode where you can lock certain things and the percentage of what should be randomized how much. And for example, if you lock the pitch of the oscillators, or you don't even have to, and you just make like a long note that's 16 bars and like make a pitch bend from -12 to +12, then you got a riser and you hit random and you get infinite risers immediately. But also, just hitting random and having everything randomized at 100% and then just saving the cool results. And then you have this folder of like interesting presets you would never come up
Wow.
with. Absinthe is also really cool for that.
really?
Old one, it has like a mutate thing, and it can sometimes it can scream at you and can suddenly be really loud. But that one can create very strange things that sound fun. And then Reactor has a few cool ones like Metaphysical Function and Scrabble. We can look at Scrabble later.
I love the way you said
That's a I don't even know what happens.
Wasn't that
in
kind of
plugin.
the same thing about how you explored like with Buff Eater and stuff like that? Like
Yeah.
that sort of randomization of putting stuff in and just hoping for happy accidents. I
Yeah.
love that, man.
Dude,
That's so-
Reactor is like is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole, I don't know. I never got into Reactor. I always stayed in Contact. You know,
Yeah.
I was a little boring, you know.
Oh, you
But,
can make crazy shit with Contact too.
yeah, I would find like the weirdest like libraries or like some really
yeah.
super old shit that like nobody even knows about, and the graphics are all fucked up. It's all pixelated and shit. And it was really cool. But I never got into the Reactor side.
I think Sonic Couture or something is the company. They got some cool Contact libraries. There's one that's like a xylophone, but all the tines, you call them, right? Are stones.
Oh.
And it sounds
wow.
really cool because they're natural, they all have different overtones.
Yeah, wow.
Interesting.
Like different overtone, I was gonna say schedules, like patterns. Yeah, that thing's pretty cool. And so I got into Contact scripting and making my own UI and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Of course.
There's a program that helps you do that as well, but I literally bought a book like KSP scripting, and I made for older sample packs. I made some cool UIs, but I like the round robin function.
Yeah.
For the people who don't know what that is, it means if you hit the same note over and over at the same velocity, it plays a different sample. Like it doesn't sound like it's the same guitar note over and over, but it sounds like actually like organic. So, and Contact has a really good pitch stretching and shifting algorithm, the Time Machine Pro, that keeps the transient intact, and it sounds really good even if you just have one sample and stretch it over the whole keyboard. Sounds great. It was a pain in the ass for your CPU until now with M1 and M2.
Yeah.
Now it's fine. And what I did is I recorded a frying pan.
Nice.
Which only has one note, and I recorded it at 10 velocities from really soft to really hard, and every velocity 10 round robins. So
You round
Oh
robin
my
to
God.
pan.
so 100 samples of just this one fucking pan, and then use Time Machine Pro to stretch it across the keyboard, and it sounds absolutely amazing. Even if you press it at the same velocity over and over, it sounds as if someone's actually going.
Wow.
And
Oh my
because the
God.
recordings are also like obviously a little bit off in their volume, so there's already a little bit of natural randomization. I showed it to Zed. He was like, "Give me that."
Let's
and
go.
and I showed it to some people at Native Instruments and was like, "Hey, like, would you be down to do a library with that?" And eventually, if I have some time, I want to record a ton of things. I call it deep sampling.
Yeah.
You can do it with anything that has like some sort of resonance. And
Wow.
Did you have to cut each individual sample yourself and then import it, or did it cut all of those for you?
So I got to figure out if Ableton has a fast way of doing this. Back then I did it with Cubase, which has a cut at transient mode to begin with. And then it also has a mode where once you have your audio clip cut at the transients, let's say 10 cuts for the 10 round robins, I can select them all and have them exported as individual files per cut.
Oh,
and it'll
man.
numberize, like
Yeah.
put numbers at the end.
Yeah.
And when you import that into Contact, you can say this part of the file name should be the velocity. This part of the file name should be the key or something. And then if it numerates them from 1 to 10, you can say, okay, that's like spread out across the velocity, and it immediately gives them all like equal spacing. So if you drag it into Contact, it's like, "Vrip."
Ableton
is
does
so-
suck at doing audio.
That's
It's
so
really a
crazy.
bummer.
Maybe if you make individual audio tracks and give the audio tracks the right names and then do a multi-track export,
Right.
then you get all the files at once with the incremental file names.
But you're recording like obviously we make samples too, so it's like if I record a real sounding sample, I then have to go in, and I'm obviously not playing it perfectly on time, so I'm just like hitting a bunch of random shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I would love just to be able to do, like, I think Pro Tools does this, right, where it
Tap
does
transient.
the transient thing like you're speaking of, but Ableton doesn't do that as far as
No.
my knowledge.
So I think the only way would be to import that recording of you into a simpler and put it on slice
Yeah,
mode.
That's
that's
smart,
the way
yeah.
to do it. That's the way to do it. Yep.
Exactly, and then play it through the steps,
scale or
and
whatever.
maybe put a different MIDI note on individual tracks,
Yep.
and then a multi-track export.
Yeah, that's a good
if
idea.
that works.
I've seen a video that's exactly how you do it in Ableton. Dank Sauce. I don't know if you follow him, but I saw he
Okay.
literally put a little reel out on how to do that the other day.
Okay, cool.
yeah, that's
really
dope. I
If
definitely
we're,
went to that.
if we're nerding out, I'm going to steal Parker's question. If we're nerding out, right? This is the most important question. Do you know what it is?
You can have it. You can have
Okay,
it.
bring it on.
All right. FM from A or FM from B?
Yeah,
Does it matter?
It's an important question.
it's important.
It's important.
we just need to know what you prefer.
I prefer FM from B.
Yeah, buddy.
It just feels right.
It feels right.
does.
Yeah.
really
I'm with
does.
you. Someone said FM. I think we had Graham on the
And
other day.
sometimes B FM from sub a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to get those like
We had
If you're
Graham
feeling
on,
frisky.
Graham Phase 1 was the first one to say FM from A, right?
a lot of people FM from
Who
A.
the fuck's FM from A?
Does
no,
Noisia
it's weird.
FM from A?
I don't know.
I think they do.
Weren't we talking about some sort of like FMing from the noise, or you're
Oh,
You
yeah.
put a
sampling?
sine wave in the noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was crazy. We were making some weird ass shit with that.
Yeah,
dude.
I found a crazy nug the other day, which I didn't know. Which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'll tell you now. But
Yeah,
we'll
tell me
do it.
now, dude.
But I
You
had no
can't
idea.
just keep me like this.
So like you can,
Leave
can,
him like this.
You
Skrillex
probably
reference.
know, and anything I might be able to tell you or show you, I guarantee you know. But I just found this out.
Everybody knows something other people don't.
Try to
right.
surprise him. Try
Okay.
to surprise him.
So let's say you're working
me.
in a 150 BPM,
Yeah.
right? And you're trying to make a bass, and your envelope, you want to have the perfect decay, right?
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you can look up in hertz and do all that shit. But did you know that you can type in how long you want your decay or sustain by just putting in a quarter note. So
Wait,
for instance, if I want it to be a quarter note,
Yeah.
I would just type in, like, actually to have the decay end at where the quarter note would be in my session. All I would
Okay.
have to type in is 1/4, and it'll put the decay exactly where
In
it's
Serum?
supposed to be. Yes.
Oh.
Did I just blow your mind?
I did not know that.
Holy shit! I'll show you.
Yes. Dude,
man.
that's crazy.
He's
and
so
that's
happy
super
about that.
helpful.
Bro, I've been going nuts on like Serum. Like, we have this pack we
Yeah.
call drops only, which essentially is like the whole point of it is to, like, for people that don't know how to really write drops or need help writing drops,
Yeah.
is like you hold down a button and it creates like a
Sequence.
drop
Yeah,
sequence.
like nicely sequenced out. I
Yeah,
see.
or just like rhythms, just to get people going, cool
Yeah.
sounds. So I've been really playing a lot with like the whole idea of like, I want to say it feels like you're programming in Serum because you're turning stuff on and off. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
like using the delay actually in the LFO to actually have it like start later. So maybe it goes like a big growl or something, and then it goes back into like a sort of like a wub sound, or turning
Yeah.
on a filter all of a sudden. And it's crazy how much stuff you can really like with Serum that you can do just as a general.
Yeah.
But the thing that drives me the most fucking nuts about Serum is that we don't have direct outs for our oscillators, especially when you're trying to do stuff like that. Oh my God, it fucking drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And we have, I know that AU5, and I wanted to ask you about this. I know he
Yeah.
did a phase, because Massive had the phase filter, which was awesome, right? And it would give it this graininess that Massive has.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he did. He did something with like the noise with the noise sampler to get that sort of phase filter, but it doesn't sound the same to me. And I've always wanted to have that phase knob back from Massive. You know what I'm talking about?
Phase knob. The
The phase knob and Massive and one of the inserts.
and one of the insert effects. Is
No,
it
not the
phase-
effects. I'm sorry. Go down 3 oscillators. And then there's
bottom?
where the FM is, right? So you can choose FM and you can also choose phase
Oh,
phase
yeah.
oscillator, right?
Oh, like phase mod.
Yes, phase mod.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I mean. And then you could pitch it.
Yes.
Can't fucking do that in Serum. Apparently AU5 did it, but I don't think it sounds the same. I'm sorry. You ever played with that?
With I know you can. Yeah, I know in phase blend you can, like, since you can modulate the phase or the pitch, you can do like linear FM and phase mod, which is cool. And what I also like to do is if you have like your operator and your modulator at like a perfect kind of relationship, so it's just like a gnarly, I don't know, zombie-ish sound, and then just a few cents up on the FMing operator, so it like starts to get a Reese sound.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. On the Serum end, if you type in for the modulation, if you type in a number and then ST, it'll modulate by that many semitones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No
That's
way.
a nug.
That's
Whoa,
huge.
wait,
so-
on the pitch,
Like, let's say you take an LFO and you want to make you set the grid to 12, so you have 12 notes,
Yeah.
like you have an octave, and you wanted to modulate the pitch in like those notes, then you go into the modulation matrix and double click and type in 12 ST, and then it'll go an octave. It'll be 12 semitones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's also good for the pitch bend.
Oh,
if you want to
that
assign
saves so much time.
Let's say you have a filter on comb and you want to move your pitch bend up and down, but you want the filter cutoff to move perfectly with it, you type in the amount of pitch bend range into that modulation.
What the
So then the filter cutoff follows your pitch bend as well as the key tracking.
So that's
Oh
kind
my
of like the
God.
same thing that I just
That's
said as
so
far as
sick.
typing in like an actual quarter note.
So
for
I
it to-
I didn't know that was the thing. I knew typing in stuff that it had like extra features there. Also, Steve Duda compiled me a special Serum version. I have it on an old computer where I can drop a MIDI file into the LFO and it turns it into an arpeggiator playing that
What?
melody.
That's
No
insane.
way.
Serum 2 has to have
My
that, bro.
gosh, it has
Yeah.
to.
You got the
Oh,
modded
cool.
Serum, bro,
Wow.
from Duda.
That's crazy.
I never showed it on a video, but that was cool.
Well, you can.
I don't have it here.
on the other computer.
That's so funny because I was gonna ask, like, what would you add to Serum
Yeah.
to make it like be the perfect synth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If there is a perfect soft synth, you know what I'm saying?
Parallel filters.
Yes.
Like the option
Yeah.
for parallel filters.
Okay.
Overall, like the option to have the effects multiple times than just once
Yep.
if you want
Oh,
to.
I would love
like,
that.
Just like, routing options would be nice. Another oscillator.
Another
would be cool.
oscillator. Yeah.
Do you care about the routing at all, like with the direct out? Like I was kind of saying, like how you can't, everything's just gonna be routed into the effects no matter what. But let's say you have oscillator B and you want to like sort of bypass some of the effects, but maybe just go into the final filter or something like that. Do you ever want that? I'm asking
Like at
because I want it.
that point, I would like just duplicate it in my instrument rack and give it its own serum effect.
Yeah,
all there,
exactly.
buddy.
The thing I would
couple
want,
clicks.
the thing I would want is it only each oscillator only has one warp knob. Compared
Yeah.
to Vital that has 2 warp knobs, and I get such amazing things out of having 2 different
Yeah.
warping knobs. I think it'd be really cool if you, because we're always FMing, right? But I think it'd be really cool if you could on one of these use FM and then also have one where you can use sync.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be prime for me.
I got him on this one, Val.
I already know it's coming. Use a carrier and use that as your second one. I got
Nope,
it.
That's not what I was saying.
All
Is
right.
You can resample oscillator A's warp into another oscillator. So essentially, if you have an FM, essentially it can now warp into like let's say you're doing FM from B, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you have your FM knob, and essentially it cycles all the way through with like an up ramp.
Yeah.
And
You
then
can-
turns that into a wavetable.
You can resample that into a wavetable. So now you have that as a warp knob.
Yeah.
As a wavetable.
now you
position.
don't have the
but
wavetable knob
but
anymore.
now I don't. Now I can't massage both of them at the same time and mess with their relationship. No matter what, on that wavetable, it's going to be going all the way through.
Yeah, you're
right?
also committing.
You're committing. I want to be able.
Are you doing it with more like
I wanna-
crazier wavetables, or are you doing it with basic
I'm
shapes?
doing it with more with basic shapes, but
Then you should be fine.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Thank
but-
you,
We
Val.
can show that. Yeah.
You got him.
All right, whatever.
Yeah,
just
we can try
kidding.
that.
I love
also,
that.
I really like the remap mode in Serum.
I don't wanna
still.
have
I've
to
been
do that.
experimenting with that. I've got some cool things.
I
to
would
show
love
there.
to see you explain that more because I really feel like, as far as like, one, I think also two, going over frequency shifting because I really do think a lot of people struggle with just understanding
I
it
love
and like
it.
how to use it properly. I don't fucking know how to use it that good, to be honest with you. I can mess around with it,
Yeah.
but like I've seen the way that you use it. I'm like, damn, that's sick. And then yeah, with Remap and Serum, you know, the best thing I can do is draw a line, and I'm like, I think it sounds a little different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it would be really cool to have you
Yeah.
sort of explain that.
Should
I'd be
we
really excited.
should we maybe
Yeah.
do some fun would you rather's and then start moving towards the?
Oh, I'm
Okay.
No,
yes.
no, yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm totally down
I mean,
for
we're
that.
like, how long have we been filming?
Hour and a half.
How are you
don't know.
feeling?
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, but I'm down to nerd out.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he's ready to get his
Yeah,
laptop
so-
up.
so,
Let's
uh,
go.
that's
baby.
what I'm
I
talking
don't
about.
have too many new. I haven't gotten any new ones. Should we still do a few?
Yeah, hit him with
We
it,
can-
bro.
yeah, we
you
can-
already hit him with the FM from A or FM from B. I mean, that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
the one that really matters.
Okay.
True, true.
Actually, I do have one question before we get that.
Go for it.
Yes.
I've been wanting to ask you this for a long time. I don't know. I guess if you don't want us to post anything or anything like that, like don't worry about it.
Already told him.
What? You don't know what I'm gonna say.
No, I just said anything they want to cut out. we
okay,
can
cool.
cut.
Yeah, I meant to say that. Anyway, I don't know what the song is called, but the collab between you and Skrillex, is that fucking song ever coming out?
I don't know.
Second Sky? What are you guys
I don't
calling it?
know.
Is there a name
I
for it?
don't know. No. Yes,
it's such a good
It has a
song.
working title that is different than
It's so
any
good.
title that people have been coming up with so far.
We all call it Second Sky because
Yep.
that's where it was played. Such a great
It's
song.
been played more than
Yeah,
played,
it's something that's out of your control, I'm sure. But god
Yeah.
damn it, I would love to see that thing come out.
Oh, you want to know what I want to talk about? First of all, how was E-Force this year?
That was cool. It was my first time. I wish I had more time to spend there. We had to like fly to another show.
Thank
like,
you for
the next
playing
day.
the Rumble remix. I had like 3 people send me videos.
Nice.
Yeah. So I
go.
love you. I appreciate you. And
I played it at Rampage too. Got good reactions. there.
Really?
Yeah. The live
Awesome.
stream of Rampage is already on YouTube.
oh, it's there.
Yeah. you
Gotta
can watch
see it.
Dude.
I've been compiling all the Val support videos.
Yeah, now you can
Dude,
say
dude,
support
I'm-
from Virtual Riot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sick.
I'm not gonna do that.
I would.
That's tacky. But I've been saving every single time. Like, there's a good video of him playing the remix I did for him out, or us playing it together. I'm at like 15.
Yeah.
So 15 like amazing fucking clips.
I'll play it again tomorrow.
Let's go.
I'm excited to I really like the remix that he did for you. I'm really excited to see that come out.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
thanks. Me too.
That's
me
one
too.
of my favorites that you've done. I
Thank
told you
you.
that's
A lot.
interesting.
A lot of people are telling me that.
It's really good.
It kind of
Makes you feel like-
well, it's decently different. It's decently different than most of the stuff I've been making. So I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, am I going in the right direction? Yeah. So I'm gonna when it comes out, I'm gonna post like a
Compilation.
a dump of just like remix. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we always ask this because it's so much fun to hear about. The worst DJ fuck up you've ever experienced that still haunts you.
Yes, DJ fail.
Yeah, worst DJ fail. Yeah.
Oh, one of them is on the. Oh God, it's on the Lost Lands.
Carmen's
live
like, I
stream.
remember a couple.
There's both like the Lost Lands main stage and last year as well. Both had a fuck up right at the start.
Oh, no.
Which haunt me. And in the main stage one was the simulation intro, and the intro and the simulation song were still two separate files, so they were on different channels. And then right as it says like "Welcome home," it's supposed to be like the big chords coming in.
Yeah.
And that channel just had the reverb still all the way up from the previous DJ.
no.
So it's like this echoey, and then suddenly it comes back. And I'm like, okay. And at last Lost Lands, I was so nervous. We played this other intro, and then the next song is Redline, and it was 10 BPM slower and like a semitone below as well.
Oh, no.
So it's like it just switches and it's like like you can tell like, oh, I found the button.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But like it feels like that shouldn't be as bad as accidentally just hitting stop with your elbow suddenly and then like
True.
But that is like over and like it happens.
Yeah,
but like
it happens.
these moments are just like so you're just cringing.
Well, I've experienced stuff like this before too, where and most of those fuck ups come from the previous person's settings. And dude, motherfuckers.
Then putting the crossfaders.
Oh my god, dude!
Have you seen?
Dude, and then I realized like 15 minutes into the set that that they have
Slightly
the
to the side.
to the right.
Oh, why is
What?
channel 3 quieter?
Oh my god!
Have you guys
dude,
seen the memes,
you
though?
savages using the fucking crossfader, dude. Put it on through. That's default setting. Someone
have
gets
you
off,
seen the
put it on
memes?
through. I hate it so
Yeah,
much.
it's like putting the toilet seat back down.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my god, I'm glad you read that.
It's like the memes when you hate the next DJ and it's like just the hands just like turning every
fixing it.
knob on the CDJ over.
Or they don't put, when they're done playing, they don't put the pitch fader back to baseline, or they don't have the key lock button on. What are you? You're savage.
Or it's fucking flipped in reverse.
Oh my god, dude, that's happened to me too.
You always got to
you said
check.
the
You always got to check
It's like
the
you left your
reverse.
fly open.
Yeah, you like you said, the previous DJ left the reverb on and all the way up. What do you?
There's got to be an etiquette, like a rules to follow, like when you're doing a festival.
So, dude, I literally,
Just the
since I've had
reverse.
so many experiences like that, literally make my intros longer now. So when I press play on the first deck, I can investigate the whole situation for a minute.
I mean,
2
that's a
minutes.
good- that's a good
I need to,
strategy.
dude. I fucking get on there and I'm like, motherfuckers, I'm fucking fit. And sometimes every setting that the person played previous to you is the exact opposite of the way you like it.
The
It's like, how do
views
people-
on the CDJs too, the new
also,
ones.
I know this one isn't. I know this one isn't as much of a problem for most people, but I refuse to DJ with sync at all. I hate it. It fucks me up because I do too many giant BPM.
Oh, you're one of those guys,
dude.
huh?
If I get on and I have to do, and you go to change the next thing,
Yeah.
it's like please put it to the previous thing, and the range isn't wide enough to get to the previous.
Yeah, that's
beat. Dude, delete the sync button. I hate it. I hate the sync
Yeah,
button.
nobody knows how to use master tempo ever. Nobody knows how to use
It
it.
reminds me of a Space Yard like back to back at the end of the night where it was I don't know who was Ghastly and me and two other people and we had our stuff gridded, but you know how some people gridded at 150 and others at 75?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And like he does a transition and from something into something, and he was playing like my collab with Graham, like the Kung Fu one.
Yeah.
And I recognized it was Kung Fu, but I thought, oh, is this a remix? It was just playing at twice the tempo.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, because you sync in, it syncs
Yeah.
to double the speed.
But
That's
it was okay. Like it wasn't a train wreck.
Yeah.
Because it was still in time. But it's just sometimes it's funny if someone does that and you sync it and suddenly
Yeah. You don't use a
hilarious.
crossfader, right?
No.
Yeah. Do you guys use crossfader?
No.
Yeah,
No,
fuck
we
that thing.
through
we
all
can
the
something
way.
we can agree.
You
on.
used to, and then I told
used
you, I
to,
was like, you
but
can't do that.
I was learning how to
look
DJ.
dumb.
I was learning
Yeah.
how to DJ, so I had to learn how
Yeah.
to, get
This
that
is
extra
so much
finesse.
better, dude.
Yeah, it
You
feels
know?
good.
Oh
It feels
yeah,
good.
chopping
Yeah.
and shit,
Yeah.
dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So wait, I do want to change the subject really
yeah.
quick.
You go,
'cause
go, go, go.
It's a loaded question, and I think that you're the only person that can answer it. What is the origin of color bass? And are you the CEO? Are you the originator? Are you the
Spokesperson,
spokesperson? Are you the secretary?
treasurer.
this is really like maybe honorary CEO or something.
Okay.
I'd say
I can go with that.
because the conception of color base itself in that form I wasn't really a part of, but I feel like I was responsible for a majority of the groundwork.
Yeah.
And then like all these young kids that I absolutely love who are killing it, like there's too many to mention, but Chime and Leo Trix and
Yeah.
Kiero and,
Yeah,
and
dude.
Asora, Skybreak, like all of those just like started developing the sound really quickly.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, yeah, this is kind of what I like. Finally, there's this movement again away from
yeah.
the rhythm. There's a chance, and then I felt like I hopped on that. But it's also something I was a part of before, so it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to like toot into my own horn and being like, oh, I made it back then, and it just was called different or something.
Yeah, but you're the
But-
perfect person to ask
But
this.
I,
you know what I'm
layered
saying?
chords under my growls, so it was almost there.
yeah.
That's epic. No, it's epic.
All right, should we do a little to be frank?
I just thought of
Yeah.
another fucking question. I gotta ask.
go,
you if we
go,
wanted
go,
to.
go.
Okay. To be frank, yeah, that's
That's
our
his
segment.
house DJ name, by the
yeah,
way.
it's gotta be, right?
The Would You Rather segment is called To Be Frank, so I just need you to be me for a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, but let him ask his question.
I noticed like with your sample packs and the basses that you put in there, there's a difference. There's a different level of quality than like just what people can sort of do. And I really pride ourselves on like our like bass shots, but there's like I don't know if it's some type of processing that you're doing besides like your fat rack and stuff like that. When it comes to you bouncing out your samples, are they like pre-mastered? Like they're so loud and so aggressive, and they still sound good with masters on them. So what is your process when you're sort of making your samples and you're bouncing them out for your own production or for like a sample pack?
So I do like I EQ them. So in like the way I usually EQ stuff, often with like a little bit of the Fletcher Munson E curve on them. They do clip technically, but are
Sick.
exported at minus 0.1.
Oh,
But
interesting.
I do,
Okay.
but there is like a limiter or a clipper before it where I will allow it to go depending on what sounds good. Like it's part of the sound design at this point,
Right.
The clipping, and it also gives you the ability to then like if the sound is already clipping as well, it is like compressed and then if you put it into your song instead of like a patch that might have its spikes and might trigger your mastering compressor or limiter too hard, you can push stuff louder if like your groups are already pre-buzzed cut.
Right. So using
on
like
the
a
clips,
like a
sort
like
of.
a clip shifter or
Yeah.
something to sort of on the group.
So that other than that, I don't know.
Your sub though, your sub and your samples, especially your bass one shots, are just—it's so powerful. I've always thought, oh, you're just doing it. All right, fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
Go fuck
He's
myself,
just
dude.
doing what he does, dude.
Me and Virtual
Don't
Riot.
overthink it, man.
No, it's just awesome. Yeah, so you definitely use clipping into your channel to get a certain type of tone. Like you're saying, you'll clip it in the red a little bit on the channel, but then it goes back into the master, and then you lower
So
it.
for the samples, yes, but also because Splice has the standard that the no sample can be at 0.0, it has to be at like minus 0.1. So that's just that. For my
Oh.
songs, I do clip in the red on the master
Yeah.
to like plus 10. I think Pray for Rhythm was plus 13.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
On the,
Sounded
and,
good.
and I've heard that Noisia does it in a similar way, and then they, after the fact, like they'll bounce that, and then they replace the drum transients with the original unclipped ones, the
Oh
clean
my
ones,
God.
which is by hand.
I
whistling.
love that.
It's just I don't know if that's true. I've heard that. But
Yeah, it's
probably
like-
many
True.
things.
Sounds like something they would do.
That's breaking the rules, man. I love
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shit, dude.
No, it's epic.
That's really
great.
cool.
Red's just a color, bro.
Yeah. That's their favorite.
Nice, I
That's
like
their
that.
favorite saying, dude. They love that.
I can make a
Red's just
T-shirt, bro.
Yeah.
Quick break from the pod. I just wanted to share with you that we have an exclusive link in our description containing hundreds of the most accurate remakes in the EDM industry. That's right. I said it. Not only that, we have organized folders containing hundreds of Ableton racks and Serum presets ready to be thrown into your project. This might be too big of a secret to share with your friends, so let's keep it between us girls. You're probably thinking that it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars to get these exclusive sounds, but you'll be pleasantly surprised to see how affordable it actually is. Hope you got a big enough hard drive. Check the link in the description called Producer Vault, and let's get you back into the episode.
Who is the hottest DJ? And we don't mean hottest like the most popping off. Who's the most?
No,
the
let him answer. Let him answer.
Hottest DJ.
Yeah, who's the hottest DJ?
Think about it.
This is really difficult.
It's tough, I know.
Fuck.
A lot of good-looking dudes.
It's going to be in the rank.
You just say
right.
ranks?
Almost.
I think both Joshs actually have their Zomboy Josh and Modestep Josh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's like different categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modestep Josh is.
Modestep
yeah.
Josh
He's a good-looking man.
Modestep
Yep.
Josh, I think, wins.
That's some cake right there, bro.
but it's
That's
must
awesome.
be the name. I don't know.
It's a beautiful man right
No,
there.
he's a good
He
looking.
is.
He's
Fuck
a good.
yeah.
He's a good looking
What's up,
dude.
Josh?
He's a good looking dude.
He
All right,
wins.
then we'll go to the easier ones.
You're not
All
gonna
right.
ask him what Skrillex's hair smells like?
What?
Oh, that was
Coconut.
just me.
Fucking jeez, dude. Okay, these are just fun random ones that we came up with or found on the internet mostly.
Let's go.
All right, would you rather be 25% happier, but the catch is you would have to walk 25% slower all the time?
Yeah, because I walk pretty fast, so
Do you?
it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, you're taking it.
You got,
Yeah.
you got a
Okay,
New York
cool.
pace.
Yes.
Nice.
Totally.
Okay, would you rather go on tour with Skrillex or Noisia?
Sunny.
Yeah. Okay. Next one doesn't get you. The next one we ask everyone else is, would you rather collab with Skrillex or Noisia? But this is, I mean, you've already done that.
Yeah.
Did you collab with Noisia?
No, but
no.
He would obviously say I'd
Good.
rather collab with
Yeah,
Noisia because I've
because I
already collabed with
yeah.
Skrillex.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's a moot. Would you rather adopt a British accent every time you're having a serious conversation or laugh every time someone cries?
The British accent.
Yeah.
That's other things just cruel.
Yeah.
You kind of have a little bit of like. Did you learn your English from somebody who is British? Because you have a little bit of like English accent in your English. I've
So
noticed.
in school in Germany, when we learn English, we have like it's like this Oxford English, and we have these like listen and repeat CDs, and it's like all like they're all like British speakers that we
yeah.
have to
That was
repeat.
good, that was good.
And then when I moved here, the first couple of years, or every time I came here, it was like with Rossi, Dan, and Rob, who are all
Oh,
Brits.
yeah.
And then I'd like hang out with them, and I would sleep in the Harry Potter cupboard under the stairs. and yeah, so that's like just exposure.
It's nice.
But it's also, I noticed it is very like I assimilate depending on what I'm around. Like if I do an
Okay.
Australia tour, by the end of it, I'll just and I'll be like, do they think like I'm mocking them? Because I'll just notice myself that I'm like adapting the accent just
Yeah.
from being there because I have no identity in my accent. I just want to fit in.
That's epic.
Okay, would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader?
Talk like Yoda. I have asthma. That's already enough. That's enough trouble. I don't need to breathe like Darth Vader.
Okay, this is the most controversial one.
Yeah.
Would you rather stub your toe or get a paper cut?
Stub my toe.
My guy.
Yeah.
That's why
You're
you
the,
like
you're the
paper
opposite.
cut.
You're paper cut.
You've always been paper cut.
What is going
but- so
on
wait,
right now?
Wait.
Oh my
I'm
God.
slowly coming to the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, my reason is initially, I feel like both are kind of like equally annoying. A paper cut is a little more
lasts
like
longer.
disgusting, but exactly like if you stub your toe, it feels good when it goes away. You don't really have that with a paper cut.
Correct.
You're just constantly like, oh fuck, and then it's just annoying for the rest of the day, and it might open up again.
Yeah.
Like
I'm with
it's
you.
a longer
yeah,
process.
it's a longer
Yeah.
process, and a stubbed toe can give you a sense of relief after a while.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's the only obvious
Yeah.
answer. People who say paper cut are savages. Like,
Psychopaths,
Dude,
even.
so
Right,
I was
thank you.
I was straight paper cut, and then in between then and now,
okay.
I stubbed my toe numerous times. Yes, and I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay.
a really bad
Imagine
toe
if you cut
tub.
your finger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I haven't gotten a paper
Oh,
cut, and I don't remember like how many years.
But there is the chance that you might get a really, really bad toe stub.
True.
And those are gnarly, where you get like
Purple.
Yeah, or
Purple
like
toes.
yeah, that's rough.
I love how deep we go on these. Yeah,
Those are the real questions.
these
Yeah.
are the real. This is what everyone's really interested in. All right, guys. Would you rather stub your toe or get a paper cut? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. All right. Okay. Would you rather have to hunt for everything you eat or only eat McDonald's for every meal?
I guess I'd learn how to hunt.
Yeah,
yes.
right. Fuck me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm with you.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather be forced to sing along to every song that you hear or be forced to dance along to every song that
Sing.
you hear? Yeah, that was quick.
Immediately. Yes.
That was quick.
Yeah. My brain already does it. It's kind of so. It's, yeah. That would
Yeah,
be fine.
this one's pretty
It
good.
also doesn't say how loud. You have to sing along.
Ooh, look at this guy finding fucking loopholes.
Doesn't say how crazy you have to dance.
Frank, you got it.
But this wouldn't be dancing. Just like you gotta. Yeah,
dance,
but that's already like more fucking. Imagine you're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah, you're in the middle doing something. Yeah.
Hit him with the Bon Jovi, dude.
The Bon Jovi?
Hit him with the Bon
I
Jovi.
have
Would
no
you rather?
idea what you're talking
Yeah, me
about.
neither.
Oh my god.
You hit him with
it.
the Bon Jovi.
Do it.
Would
Be
you-
frank, dude.
Be
I'll
frank.
try. I'll try.
All right.
I'll try. Would you rather sing your favorite song?
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Oh my god,
now
dude!
you
We
got
already
him.
got
No,
through
he's got
it.
it.
We already got through
No,
it.
because you're not gonna word. You're not gonna word
We
it.
build
You're-
up a lot here. Have you
All
noticed?
right.
We build
All
up
right.
a lot
We're
of
gonna
tension.
TO this to.
No, because I have
be
it written
frank.
down. So
I got
okay.
32 bar
Okay.
builds here
All right.
next to the show.
Okay. Would you rather sing your favorite song all by yourself in front of a full arena or just in front of the original artist alone? Is that tough? Right? That's the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Why are you calling it the Bon Jovi?
Because it was Bon Jovi last time, dude.
Oh.
Singing something in front of Bon Jovi. Somebody said that.
Yeah, that was their favorite song.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh, but you have to like your favorite. It has to be the same song, sort of. Like you
Yeah, if
pick
you're-
your favorite song, and then it's either in front of an audience or in front of the.
In front of a full
Correct.
arena
A full
or in front of
arena.
just the original artist?
The man's a singer. The man can sing.
Still, but which is makes me even more curious. It's a tough one.
Yeah. First of all, I gotta pick the favorite song. I feel like it would be an Enter Shikari song, and I would like to perform it in front of the band.
Nice.
That's
Because I would like
Ooh.
them there, and I'd like to hang out with them afterwards.
That's sick.
That's dope.
Good answer.
Enter Shikari, man.
Yeah.
That's a
So
really, I
sick.
really like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, easy. Batman or Spider-Man?
This is not easy.
No, isn't this is
No.
a tough.
For me, it's easy.
Because I like the Christian Bale Batman, and
Yeah,
I
so
like
much.
Tom Holland.
I like
Yeah.
Tom Holland too.
I think Tom Holland killed it.
Yeah.
Like it's like the naive, childish Spider-Man. He like
Closest thing to the
that really
what
well.
Spider-Man is,
Yeah.
for sure.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
this is really difficult. I feel like I would have to say Spider-Man now because
Me too.
of recently, like Batman's just let me down.
Yeah.
With what came out recently, the
Yeah,
latest
same.
one wasn't that bad.
It
but-
wasn't. It wasn't even close to as good as the previous.
Yeah.
Though, right? Dude,
It didn't feel
by
good
the way,
when
the
you
people.
left.
By the way, the people that I talk to, they're like, "Oh, this is my favorite Batman." There's something wrong with them. You
Oh.
need to go get checked out. Something's wrong with you. That's fucked. That's fucked. That's fucked.
Would you rather Michael Keaton Batman over fucking Twilight Batman?
for nostalgia purposes only? Yes.
Okay.
But Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan ones are, it's like, come on. And I don't want to get too far into this. I know it's funny. I think aesthetically speaking, the cinematography, the makeup, the set design, the lighting, everything about that in the Robert Pattinson Batman was amazing.
Yeah.
But only aesthetically speaking was I impressed. Storytelling wise, character development wise, acting wise, writing wise, none of that was even close to up to par.
Bro, I was out of Batman once fucking Ben Affleck was entered into the picture. Dude. I
Oh
was
yeah,
out by
Batman
then.
vs Superman. That was terrible.
I didn't even watch that
I know
one.
you
No, me neither.
I know you mentioned Tom Holland. Just quick side note because
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about this. He just came out. He just came out with a new show on Apple TV called A Crowded Room. It is so goddamn
Really?
good. Watch it. It is so fucking good.
All right.
Yeah, I got some shows for you. We'll talk about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
We got the Frank vouch.
Yeah.
To be frank, baby.
To be frank. Okay. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or in a coma for a decade?
Ooh, jail for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Learn some
Yeah.
cool shit probably.
Yeah,
in
get
jail.
jacked.
You can still spend You can still spend the time. Yeah.
Okay.
would
This
suck,
this one's pretty controversial. Maybe not. Maybe we've gotten the same answer. I don't remember. Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life or give up the internet for the rest of your life?
Ooh.
It's a good one.
I like that one.
So
Yeah.
wait, I have to give up the internet. I could still have other people distribute the songs I make.
Oh, nice
Like
loophole.
I give them to a label, they put it out. I
Oh.
just don't get to interact with the internet.
You can't download
Yes.
songs.
These
You
guys-
can't
That is
download
true, though.
plugins.
That's true.
No, yeah, you no plugins, no
Oh,
updates. You can't update serum.
But wait, people could bring him.
Yeah, could someone bring me a
Damn,
laptop
dude,
with
these
all the stuff
loopholes
On
on
a
it?
USB
Good
though.
loophole.
On a
Right, this loophole's
USB.
bullshit.
Yeah, if someone gives me a laptop with all
Bullshit
the stuff on
loophole.
it, just no network card, no way to connect to the internet, that would be okay.
Ah, damn.
No
Val, that's
Instagram,
you got
I didn't
some-
think about
none of
That's
that.
some really good loopholes. So
That'd
you're,
be a fine-
You're
yeah,
going with
that's
that. You're
okay.
going no internet, keep heating and air conditioning, and have other people. do your shit.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Damn, that's
He
fucking
just
good.
he just fucking
You just
beat
broke,
To Be
you,
Frank.
You just broke To Be Frank.
broke it.
You're more Frank than I am. What the fuck, dude? Would you rather always wear high heels or always wear a belly shirt or crop top, whatever you want to call it?
Crop top.
Yeah, same. That one's too
no,
easy.
Walking is
Crop
important.
top is epic. dude.
Both.
Okay, would you rather be able to only have sex in one position for the rest of your life or only watch one porno for the rest of your life?
The latter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy. And that's all I got. That completes the To Be Frank
Beautiful.
segment.
To Be Frank
That was
sex.
great. I loved it.
Let's fucking nerd out, boys.
All right, we're going to
Yes,
transition
let's
to the
do
nerd
it.
out. We'll take a little piss
Okay.
break. We'll set
Yep.
up your computer and we'll fucking nerd out.
Yes, let's do
good.
Let's
it.
go.